ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery. Staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. You deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
Save time every time for a great haircut. Just download the Great Clips app or check in online at greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Welcome back. It's the Cubs Radio pregame show driven by your Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana, Buick, and GMC dealers. Let's get into the pitching matchup sponsored by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. A pair of right-handers tonight at the rate. Davis Martin, he's 5-1 with a 1.62 ERA and 8 starts, 52 strikeouts, and 50 innings of work. Jamison Tyone going for the Cubs. He's 2-2, 3.94 ERA and 8 starts, 40 strikeouts, 45 and 2/3 innings of work. Davis Martin has never faced the Cubs, but he has faced 4 Cubs batters. One of those guys is Alex Bregman, who's 1 for 2 with a double. So that's who I'm going with for Who Am I Banking On? And Who Am I Banking On is sponsored by Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. It is the Cubs. It is the Sox right here on the south side at the rate. Last night we had a great game, 10-5 for the Cubs, and it is now time to hand it over to Coom, Zach, and the Cubs next right here on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Listen for the great Cubs guests all season long on 104.3 The Score, the official radio home of the Cubs.
Hey, it's Speaks. Now's the time to complete that painting project you've been putting off. CertaPro Painters provides a free estimate quickly and at the right price. I have completed my entire project, and I am thrilled with the results. I got reliable updates and communication throughout. CertaPro Painters knew exactly how important my home was and took care of me beautifully. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Welcome to Old National Bank.
Hi, I was wondering what you could do for my small business.
Tons. Have time to talk?
Not much. We're in a 30-second radio ad.
Oh, I'll get straight to the point then. Our solutions are customized for small businesses. Our services make financial management simple, and our pricing is always transparent.
Outstanding. Wow.
Yeah. So, ever been in an ad before?
Nope. How do I look?
Good. But we're on the radio, remember?
Right. Hi, Mom.
Customized small business banking from Old National Bank. Member FDIC. Get old.
Every team needs a closer. Injured? Dial Pound Law. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs. Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
Hey, Cubs fans, Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer here. This Cubs season, listen to the Cubs in crystal clear FM quality on 104.3 The Score.
It's got a chance! Gone! Pete Crow Armstrong with a long home run.
Imagine listening to all the action on FM. Cubs baseball has never sounded this good. Listen to every game on your home of the Cubs. 104.3 The Score.
Presented by the official sports book of The Score. Circa Sports. Sports betting the way it should be with no bet fee.
This broadcast is presented by Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the Bet365 app and lock in your picks before the game begins. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in select states only.
And now, Odyssey and 104.3 The Score bring you Chicago Cubs baseball on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Gone! 3-run homer. Ian Happ is going to be gone. 3-run homer. Pete Crow Armstrong. And Bush drives one in the air. This ball's got a chance. Gone! This is what you came here for. You got the Cubs game on The Score.
Chicago Cubs baseball is presented to you in part by the Volvo XC90, Biddy's Beverage Depot, Benjamin Moore, Grand Appliance, James Hardy Building Products, Turo Tire. It's Not a Game, Illinois.com. Old National Bank, Sea Glass Wine, Sloan, Southwest Airlines, Xfinity, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, and Yingling, the oldest brewery in America. And now, here's the Hall of Famer, Pat Hughes, and All-Star Ron Kumar, with all the exciting play-by-play action of Chicago Cubs baseball.
It was an explosive start to the Crosstown Series for the Cubs. 10 runs on 14 hits and a 10-5 victory in the Southside Series opener. And now the Cubs looking for more. Hi, everyone. A pleasant good evening to you from Wright Field. It's game 2 of a 3-game set between the Cubs and White Sox. Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman in for Pat tonight. Rich Wyatt is our engineer, helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. And Dustin Rhodes is along as well. The Cubs have won 13 of their last 15 games in this series. And tonight, a couple of right-handers going. Jamison Tyone starts for the Cubs. Davis Martin going for the Sox. Let's get right to the starting lineups. Brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For Craig Counsell's Cubs, first place in the National League Central with a record of 29-16. Nico Horner is the leadoff man, and he plays shortstop tonight. The first baseman is Michael Busch. Alex Bregman at third. The cleanup man is tonight's designated hitter, Ian Happ. The right fielder, Seiya Suzuki. Michael Conforto in left. Batting seventh, Matt Shaw, the second baseman. The center fielder is Pete Crow Armstrong. And hitting ninth, catcher Miguel Amaya with Jamison Tyone on the mound. For Will Venables' White Sox, second place in the American League Central, a record of 22-22. Sam Antonacci is the leadoff man, and he's in left field. Munetaka Murakami is the first baseman. Miguel Vargas at third. The cleanup man is shortstop Colson Montgomery. Chase Mydroff plays second. The designated hitter is Andrew Benintendi. Hitting seventh, right fielder Jared Kelnick. Tristan Peters is in center. And batting ninth, the catcher Drew Romo with right-hander Davis Martin on the mound. First pitch next. Cubs and White Sox on the Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, this is Ian Happ. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, it's Ron Coomer. This season, my partner Jeff Neidiger and I are honoring our heroes through Veteran of the Game on the Score. Jeff's a combat veteran himself, helping families sell their homes the easy way since 2007.
Whether it's an inherited property or you just need to sell without the hassle, we buy houses as is with no gimmicks. You pick the timeline, take all your memories, and we handle everything else.
Give them a call at 630-556-8892. That's 630-556-8892 or jeffbuysyourhouse.com.
It's game time. That makes it the perfect time for a flight by England. At just 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and packed with flavor. Flight is the next generation of light beer. From the oldest brewery in America, look for Flight wherever you buy beer. And Cubs had a very nice ball game yesterday. Even after getting, off a plane late the night before, I think, the series, the crowd, and all of the energy that this series has helped get them energized into playing yesterday. And I just thought the whole game was played very well by the Cubs. A clean game yesterday.
There's a playoff-like atmosphere here on the South Side. And to your point, 10 runs last night for the Cubs after 5 total runs in their previous 5 games combined.
Yeah, that game last night looked a lot like the home games that the Cubs played, for that month where they never lost. You'd get men on, 2 outs, big hit, drive in 2, drive in a run. But that was more like what we saw for a month straight from the Cubs here just not too long ago.
The Cubs leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Nico Horner gets a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $200 to service dog charities. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. 29-year-old right-hander Davis Martin on the hill for the White Sox. He kicks and delivers. And Nico looks at a fastball for a strike. We are underway. Game 2 of the Southside edition of the Crosstown Series between the Cubs and White Sox. Horner playing shortstop tonight. Martin comes in with a record of 5-1, a 1.62 ERA in 8 starts. He works on the first base side of the rubber. They kick and pitch, and Nico swings and misses at a slider. The numbers say a lot. What does the video show?
He's pretty conventional. When you watch him, he's got all the pitches. 2 fastballs, 4-seamer, 2-seamer. curveball, slider, change, the conventional pitches.
Nico fouls it back off the screen.
But there's always an intangible when a guy is having a start like this or having a stretch like this. I looked at like hot spots and where he tries to go with certain hitters. He doesn't miss his spot very often. He knows how to execute all of his pitches, and that is a rare thing for any pitcher in the league, and he's going to have to in this ballpark with the wind blowing the way it is tonight.
Martin misses with a changeup low. The count is 1-2. There's a 10-mile-per-hour wind from right to left at the moment here at Rate Field. The pitch, Nico swings and it's hit foul out of play off to the right. 81 degrees, Coom, at first pitch. It is a warm, muggy day here on the south side, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous day. Great day to play, and it's an even better day to hit here in this ballpark.
Here's the 1-2, and Nico fouls it back off the screen. So Horner putting up a good battle here. He's hitting a .264 on the year with 4 home runs and 29 RBIs, including a single in last night's ball game. It was a ground out, probably, that was his biggest play of the game offensively. He had a great defensive snag. The pitch. And a ground ball hit the right side, softly to the second baseman, Mydroff. He fields, sidearm throw to first in time. Horner's retired, 1 away.
First inning is powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated. You just saw there Martin, as we're watching, in, out, up, down, and a little change of speed. He had Nico out in front of that one. He was really just hoping he put it, foul it off, but he ended up putting it in play.
Now the batter, Michael Busch. The pitch. Called strike. Breaking ball that floated into the zone. 0-1. Busch riding a 16-game on-base streak. Had an RBI double and 2 walks in last night's ball game. He's got 7 extra base hits during the streak. 13 runs batted in. As Busch looks at a ball low and inside. So the count is 1-1. The Game Time Temperature sponsored by Four Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Martin's ready. Here's the pitch. And Busch grounds one to second. Fielded by Mydroff. Throw to first in time, 2 away.
Pair of ground balls, and that's kind of the forte of Martin. He's not going to walk guys. He's had some big strikeout numbers in his last couple starts. Against a guy like this, you've really got to do your best at hitting the ball where it's pitched. If you start guessing with him and he starts moving the ball to the different quadrants of the strike zone, you can have some problems.
Alex Bregman at the plate. Looks at a sinking fastball for a strike. 0-1. Bregman's been heating up, Coom. 2 hits and a walk last night. He's 8 for 26 on this road trip. A .308 batting average with a home run. The 0-1 delivery. Bregman swings and misses at a slider. 0-2.
Thing about Bregman, too, even the outs yesterday, a line out to third base. I mean, he's squaring the ball up. It looks like this extra work that he's put in over the last week or so is really starting to pay off.
Bregman, a right-handed batter, stands deep in the box, mostly an upright stance, very little bend at the knees. Here's the 0-2. That's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Can you tell from up here when you watch him during his workouts what he's actually trying to work on?
Well, it just looks like his body and his hands weren't really in sync all the time, and he's trying to figure out the timing of, the swing and be on time with the swing, with the ball and the body all connected. And I think he's getting there.
Martin misses low and outside. 2-2 now with Bregman at the plate. The lights are on. Tonight's game is powered by ComEd. Partly cloudy, early evening here on the south side. The pitch. Bregman swings and foul tips it into the glove. Strike 3. Cubs go down in order here in the top of the first. Middle 1, no score. Cubs and Sox on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Every strikeout and home run is heard right here on 104.3 The Score and the Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, Coom here. Stats don't lie. Want MVP numbers and light beer? That's Flight by Yuengling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp, refreshing. That's elite efficiency. Other beers, padding stats with extra carbs and no flavor. Care about your beer stats? The choice is obvious. Flight is dominating. Numbers don't lie, Chicago. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Man, with these Bosch lasers, I can knock out the job.
You tell him, champ.
Who are you?
I'm your inner Bosch.
My inner...
Bosch, baby. I'm that feeling you get when you got a job on the ropes.
Like a window install?
One you're about to knock out with Bosch lasers.
Oh.
More like KO, am I right?
Was that a punchline?
Sure was, Laser Man.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Hey, Cubs fans, make history with your business in the Village of Bedford Park. To learn more, contact Adam Colopy at ACOLLOPY at villageofbedfordpark.com.
34-year-old right-hander Jamison Tyone on the mound for the Cubs. He's 2-2 this season with a 3.94 ERA in 8 starts. Bottom one here on the south side, Cubs and White Sox. Sam Antonacci at the plate, left-handed batter. The pitch in there for a strike. Fastball at 92 miles per hour, 0-1. Whom last weekend in Texas, a loss for Tyone, but it was a hard luck loss. Gave up just 1 earned run on 4 hits in 5 1/3. The pitch and a one-hopper off the glove of the second baseman Shaw into right center field. Antonacci a big turn at first, but Suzuki gets the ball quickly back into the infield.
Ball hit sharply, one hop at Nico with topspin, and he gets down low to try to get that eye level along with the glove. This ball hits with that topspin, hits the dirt, and explodes, hits off the tip of Nico's glove and goes in to right field for a base hit.
So now the batter, Munetaka Murakami. He's got 15 home runs this year. Powerful left-handed slugger. Tyone delivers and misses high and outside with a fastball, 1-0. The home plate umpire tonight is Brian Onora. Chris Siegel working first. Eric Backus manning second. The crew chief, Laz Diaz at third. Tyone sets above the belt. The kick and pitch. Outside, ball 2 to Murakami. The announcement of the umpires is sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Antonacci, good speed at first, being held on by Bush. Corner of the shortstop up the middle, just to the left of the second base bag. The pitch in the dirt, blocked by Amaya. It rolls to his left, but not far enough for Antonacci to advance. So it's now 3-0 with Murakami at the plate.
Antonacci took his secondary, saw the ball in the dirt, took one hop step, and then kind of shut down, and that ball just kept going away from Amaya.
3-0 the count. Man at first, no one out here in the bottom of the first. The pitch. Called strike to Murakami. A fastball from Tyone. 3-1.
That's the pitch J-Mo has to have tonight. That fastball away on the outside corner to the lefties, and the cutter that comes back to the outside corner, whether it be a cutter or even a breaking ball.
Throw to first. Antonacci gets back sliding in.
As you were saying, that outing in Texas, J-Mo, first couple innings didn't quite have that pitch down, that backdoor cutter and fastball away, and then all of a sudden he threw some good ones. He had a very nice outing.
Antonacci dancing off the bag. The 3-1. There's a ball high and outside. So Murakami draws a walk. And the White Sox immediately putting the pressure on the Cubs here in the last of the first. Men at first and second with no one out, and Miguel Vargas due up.
Last pitch, fastball up and away, just missed the top of the zone. And now for J-Mo, he's going to be looking to try to get Vargas to hit a ground ball.
Vargas, a right-handed batter, upright stance. Tyone delivers. Called strike, a cutter from J-Mo, 0-1. It's right at the top of the zone on the outer half. Bush playing behind Murakami at first. The 0-1. Check swing at a pitch low and outside. No swing. 1-1 the count.
J-Mo will probably top out somewhere around 92, 93 miles an hour with the fastball today. Speed gun is always powered by Xfinity, reliable Wi-Fi. One price for 5 years, Xfinity. Imagine that.
Here comes the 1-1. And a high fly ball deep left center field. This is going to go. White Sox strike first. 3-run home run by Miguel Vargas here in the first. It's a 3-0 lead for the White Sox.
Now J-Mo throws this one. It's out over the plate about mid-thigh. Yeah, not where he wanted that ball to go. And Vargas put a very good swing on this pitch as it's right in the wheelhouse, and he hits it about halfway up the bleachers and left.
421 feet to left center field. Exit velocity 108 miles per hour. Second home run of the series for Vargas. He now has 11 on the year. And batter Colson Montgomery. And he looks at a curveball high, 1-0. Three 3-0 White Sox. Montgomery homered in last night's ball game. Here comes the 1-0 delivery. And this is popped up. Shallow right center. Suzuki is under it. And the right fielder makes the catch. That's the first out here in the first.
Now, this is one of those ballparks that, all hitters love to come to. When it gets warm here in Chicago, this park, the ball jumps. Although the ball Vargas hit, that's going to be a home run in just about every ballpark in baseball. He hit that ball well.
And he clocked that one. Chase Mydroth at the plate, right-handed batter. Tyone delivers. And Mydroth swings, and it's a high fly ball deep right. Suzuki backing up on the track, has a play, makes the catch. 2 away.
A good job by J-Mo getting back into this inning. You give up the base hit, a walk, 3-run homer, and now 2 routine flyouts to right.
Andrew Benintendi, the designated hitter, stands in. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Tyone. Bregman playing in at third, wide of the bag. The pitch. Benintendi taps it foul at the plate. 0-1. Cubs wearing the blue jerseys tonight with the Cubs logo on the front left part. Red numerals lettering on the back outlined in white. Gray pants. Tyone wearing white shoes. And the Cubs in olive caps here on Armed Forces Weekend. The 0-1. And a pop fly, shallow right. Coming in, Suzuki. He makes the catch for out number 3. But the White Sox strike first on the long 3-run shot by Miguel Vargas. 3-0 Sox after 1 on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering every Cubs game all season long. Rahimi, Harrison, Grody, middays 10 to 2 on 104.3 The Score.
At 19 weeks pregnant, I found out my blood was attacking my baby. I'm Ellen, and my team said her only chance at survival was a rare procedure.
Top ranked in Illinois for obstetrics and gynecology by U.S. News and World Report, the team at Northwestern Maternal Fetal Medicine Clinic treats high-risk pregnancies from across Chicagoland. They performed an unprecedented 5 in utero blood transfusions to ensure Ellen and her baby had a compatible blood type.
Today, my baby is healthy and full of life.
Northwestern Medicine, better.
Chicago weather is relentless. The ice, the snow, the summer humidity. Your home's exterior can take a beating. What if your siding was made to stand strong through it all? Hardy Fiber Cement Siding is engineered for our climate. It resists cracking in the freezing cold and won't swell in the summer heat. You get the timeless beauty of wood with lasting protection and low maintenance. Your home deserves the #1 brand of siding in North America. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com. That's jameshardy.com.
Pat, did you know that our Catch Des Moines radio spots are now award-winning? It must be these golden pipes and our witty repartee.
Don't flatter yourself, partner. Des Moines is the real star. With award-winning attractions and a central location, it's the perfect getaway. And the best thing since sliced bread, which, by the way, was invented in Iowa.
Ooh, do you think leftover steak de Burgo would be good as a sandwich?
Rod, you never have leftover steak de Burgo.
Then I guess I better order 2.
Des Moines, it's a trip. Make it yours at catchdesmoines.com. BenjaminMoore.com.
Refresh your home with Benjamin Moore. Now through May 25th, save 20% on premium Benjamin Moore exterior paints and stains at participating dealers. Visit BenjaminMoore.com.
Our second inning brought to you by Sea Glass Wines, delivering crisp, refreshing flavors that hit every time. Zach?
Great to have Dustin Rhodes with us here this evening for Game 2 of this 3-game set between the Cubs and White Sox. Ian Happ at the plate to begin the top of the second inning. And he looks at a fastball up high, 1-0 the count. White Sox with a 3-0 lead. Miguel Vargas, a 3-run shot in the bottom of the first as Happ looks at a changeup for a strike. The count is 1-1. Happ hitting at .241 on the year. He's got 10 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the right-hander Davis Martin. Now the pitch. Happ swings and misses. Fastball, 1-2.
Good heater there for Seamer. And that's the thing about Martin. He's got the back and forth, up and down, but he's got a good fastball. There's no doubt at 95 miles an hour.
And the 1-2 delivery. High and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. We mentioned the Cubs in the blue tops with the gray pants. Got the blue batting helmets with the red C on the front. White Sox wearing their traditional home white uniforms with the black pinstripes. Sox logo on the front left part of the jersey. Black numerals, lettering on the back. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball foul off to the right by Happ, 2-2. Just like the Cubs when they're out in the field, the White Sox are wearing olive caps on this Armed Forces weekend. The uniform description sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint to the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. Happ waits for the 2-2 delivery. Martin is ready, and here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Took something off that one, fooled Happ, and 1 away.
Well, the one thing about Martin that's kind of unique, I mean, he's thrown the ball exceptionally well all year, obviously, with the numbers he has. But the four-seam fastball, 95, that changeup, usually you want it 10 miles an hour slower. That changeup was 92 miles an hour.
Seiya Suzuki at the plate. He swings and misses at a curveball, 0-1. So from a hitting perspective, what does that do?
It's almost like a BP fastball, but it has good action on it. So it's his four-seamer is straight, but very firm, but straight. That changeup at 92 had great action going down.
Suzuki swings and misses at a slider off the outside, 0-2.
That's another good pitch, good slider down and away. Feel Like a Bosch prediction brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Feel like a Bosch.
Here's the 0-2 delivery to Suzuki. And Martin misses with a slider low and outside.
Last night, we had a lot of success. At least one of us did, Zach Zaidman. He was Bosching and did a very good job. So because of that, you get to do it again tonight, Z.
A lot of pressure. Here comes the pitch to say, called strike 3. Fastball clocked at 97 miles per hour. 2 away, 3 straight strikeouts for Martin. That was right at the bottom of the zone near the outside edge, Coon.
Yeah, that's perfect pitcher's pitch down and away. And it does have a little bit of action coming back to the strike zone, and not much you can do with that pitch.
So here's Michael Conforto hitting at .333 on the year. In left tonight, the pitch. High fly ball hit to deep right. Going back is Kelnick at the track near the wall. He's got a play and makes the catch, angling toward the line. Loud out by Conforto. Cubs go down in order here in the top of the second. Middle 2. Don't worry, we're going to Bosch when we come back. It's the White Sox with a 3-0 lead on the score. The Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering every Cubs game all season long, Rahimi Harrison Grody, middays 10-2 on 104.3 The Score.
For 120 years, innovation has been at the heart of Sloan, and fans can experience it firsthand at Wrigley Field. From trusted restroom solutions to bottle fillers delivering clean drinking water, Sloan supports Cubs fans all season long. Learn more at sloan.com.
Welcome to Old National Bank. Is that a suit of bubble wrap?
Hi. Yeah, I'm all about protecting myself and my finances. I understand Old National takes protection seriously.
You bet. We protect you with advanced fraud monitoring and secure digital banking to protect you today, and dedicated personal bankers to protect your tomorrow.
I'm impressed.
So bubble wrap, huh?
Yeah, came with my couch.
Financial protection for today and tomorrow. Old National Bank. Just another reason to get old. Member FDIC.
What happened in 1948? The first monkey astronaut was launched into space, and Benny's Beverage Depot opened their doors just south of Wrigley Field at the corner of Clark and Sheffield. Ever since, Benny's has remained local, family-owned, and dedicated to helping you celebrate the best times of your life.
Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. It includes a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, plus 24/7 roadside assistance. That's peace of mind from Hyundai. And these days, that's priceless.
Right now, for a limited time, you can lease the Hyundai Elantra for $189 a month, or choose to get $2,000 total savings. Offers end June 1st. Call 224-661-0068 for details.
When choosing a financial partner, you want people you trust. At Consumers Credit Union, you can trust they put you first. Partner with the people in your corner at myconsumers.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Join us Wednesday, May the 20th to celebrate Mexican Heritage fans and purchase tickets through Cubs.com/special. We'll receive a special edition Cubs Mexican Heritage jersey. Don't miss that offer, Zach.
Seiya Suzuki with an outstanding sliding backhanded catch on a Jarred Kelenic liner in right center field for out number one. What a way to start the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, this ball's hooked in the gap, and Suzuki goes a long way to make this catch. He backhands this ball as he slides and tumbles over. Excellent play by Suzuki in right.
Now Tristan Peters digs in. Here's the pitch. And Peters looks at the ball off the outside. Fastball that missed from Tyone. And Miguel Amaya is going to challenge this one.
Challenges, ball strike challenges, sponsored by Northwestern Medicine.
And it clipped the zone for a strike, so excellent eye by Miguel Amaya, right at the bottom of the zone, near the outside edge. 0-1. Bregman playing on the infield grass at third. The pitch is a called strike to Peters. 0-2.
Great play by Suzuki and right. Be a tough play of the game, sponsored by Loyola Medicine. Loyola Medicine defines tough.
The pitch is low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And with 2 strikes, Bregman drops back, playing wide of third, more where a shortstop would normally be in the hole. And Nico Horner, the shortstop, up the middle to the left of second. Tyone works his motion. The 1-2 delivery. Peters fouls this one away, just to our left, out of play. Count remains 1-2. Miguel Vargas whacked the 3-run home run in the first to put the White Sox on top. They lead 3-0 with 1 down here in the bottom of the second inning. Tyone rocks back and deals. The 1-2, foul back below us.
Curveball there by Tyone. That's that backdoor curveball he likes to throw. That one a little bit up. He'd like to get that ball down just a little bit more at the very bottom of the zone.
The 1-2 offering. And a fly ball hit to deep left center field, but right there, Crow Armstrong, who makes the catch. Just short of the track for out number 2 as Peters flies out.
Pete just kind of glides on over there and makes a nice catch in left center. They were shading him around that way where they, with Peters at the plate. Defensive alignment, sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling.
On from J-Mo. Romo, the number 9 hitter in the order. The pitch, swing and a miss at a changeup. Romo's in the hole, 0-2. White Sox with a 3-0 lead, 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. Tyone working on the extreme first base side of the rubber. And now the 0-2. Up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cubs have won 22 of their last 29 games overall. The pitch. Slow moving, bouncing ball. Back of first. Fielded by Bush. Steps on the bag. That's out number 3. As the White Sox go down in order in the second. We head to the third. White Sox lead 3-0 on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Every strikeout and home run is heard right here on 104.3 The Score and the Cubs Radio Network.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Dial Pound Law.
Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
Your outdoor oasis awaits. Save 20% on premium Benjamin Moore exterior paints and stains now through May 25th when you visit your locally owned Benjamin Moore store. Benjamin Moore's premium quality all-weather exterior paints and stains help protect and provide luxurious results so you can give your outdoor space a fresh new look for the season. Visit BenjaminMoore.com to find a locally owned retailer near you. Benjamin Moore, official paint of the Chicago Cubs.
Benny's goes to the dogs. Every time the Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot donates $200 to area service dog charities. Here's toasting to man's best friend. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
I've tried everything to stand out at work. Donuts, a company coffee blend, even dressed as the company mascot for Halloween.
There's an easier way, a ComEd facility assessment. Their engineer gave my company free insights and actions that saved us $732,000 on energy. Easy, right?
Learn how ComEd can help you save at ComEd.com/facility assessment. ComEd, powering lives. Savings will vary based on customers' usage and rate.
Who's on first? Southwest Airlines, ranked first among U.S. airlines by the Wall Street Journal. Based on WSJ's 2025 rankings. See southwest.com/WSJ.
Matt Shaw's on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Getting set for the top of the third here on the south side. White Sox with a 3-0 lead over the Cubs. Shaw to be followed by Pete Crow Armstrong and Miguel Amaya. Davis Martin, right-hander, working on the first base side of the rubber for the White Sox Steels. Shaw looks at a ball, low and outside, a curve that missed. So we've got to make a Bosch prediction here.
Yes, you do.
That
you were trying to get out of it. No, we're not going to let you out of it.
I feel like it's such great hitting conditions for both teams as Martin delivers and Shaw looks at a strike, a sinking fastball.
Yesterday, your prediction was a pitching prediction.
Yeah, and I was wrong. I said that Edward
You weren't
Cabrera,
wrong. We won.
Yeah, you're right.
You're never wrong when you win.
You're absolutely right. I'll take it. I'm not going to argue with you. It's a big win. Here's a 1-1. Swing and a miss by Shaw in the hole 1 and 2. I'm going to guess that we're going to see some offense from the Cubs before all is said and done here tonight. At least 2 home runs. Cubs had 14 hits last night, scored 10 times, and they didn't hit a home run. It's going to change tonight. Here's the 1-2. Shaw looks at a ball low, a fastball that missed, 2-2.
Third inning is brought to you by Consumers Credit Union, the people in your corner who stand up for you wherever you go. Consumers Credit Union.
The 2-2 is fouled back. That one took a bite out of the catcher, Romo. So the home plate umpire, Brian Onora, walks halfway to the mound to personally hand the ball to the pitcher, Martin.
Zach, we had a nice dinner in the media dining room tonight, all of us together. And some old friends, too, and we came back to even a bigger dinner by the group here. Chef Nick Tosh from Levy, he came here, and our good friend Paul Zarang might have had something to do with it, along with these enormous milkshakes.
Oh yeah, the campfire milkshake. It's a Southside staple. As Shaw swings, lines one in the center, diving and making a backhanded catch is Peters. An excellent play toward left center field. Shaw's retired, one away.
Well, when you play in games where, there's an energy about the game, and this definitely fits that in that category. Players have a tendency to make big plays. We've seen it yesterday with a couple plays made, and now Peters in center field. Suzuki's made one. Guys are playing up to this game tonight.
Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate. He swings, and it's a high fly ball. Routine to center. Peters backs up and makes the catch short of the track. 2 away.
Well, we wanted to say thank you to Chef Nick. Awesome. We always get treated very well. Because everybody asks us, do you get along with the guys on the south side? They're our friends, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And the White Sox do a very nice job of treating us very well when we come over to the south side. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chef Nick. As Miguel Amaya looks at the ball low and outside, a slider that missed.
You didn't try the pizza yet, have you?
I did not try the pizza. It's got everything on it. Everything. I mean, everything you can think of that you can put on a pizza is on this pizza.
I tried it. It's good.
Amaya looks at bowl 2 low.
Yeah.
I mean, the campfire milkshake alone filled me up.
I haven't seen you smile that big when we walked into the booth and you saw those. I thought we might lose you for the ball game tonight.
The 2-0 called strike, a sinking fastball to Amaya, 2-1.
Dusty was getting pulled into duty for play-by-play tonight.
That might be scary.
Yeah, well, they've let me do it, so you're all right.
Here's the 2-1. Amaya fouls it back. 2-2.
We may get a few calls from Mitch Rosen, but, it's nothing unusual.
My phone's on silent.
Pat, we miss you. That's the bottom line. And Pat will rejoin us when the Cubs head back to Wrigley to begin a set against the Brewers on Monday. Here's the 2-2. Popped up. Right side, foul territory. Murakami, does he have a play near the sidewall? Yeah, he does. Makes the catch for out number 3 as Amaya fouls out. We head to the last of the third. White Sox 3, Cubs nothing. On the score, the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Molly and Hum, mornings 5:30 to 10 on 104.3 The Score.
Here's a club you want to get into, Club Citgo, the super easy app that opens the door to great fuel savings and more. Sign up and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Download Club Citgo today. Savings could up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
Got big plans tonight? Make sure your post-game plan is locked in before last call comes around. Plan ahead and party on with a sober ride home at the end of the night.
Your ride is here.
Drive sober or get pulled over. It's not a game.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Shop Grand Appliance for expert advice, fast delivery, and the lowest prices every day on top brands like KitchenAid, Maytag, and more. Visit grandappliance.com for full details.
Bottom 3 on the south side. White Sox leading the Cubs 3-0. Currently 80 degrees. Partly cloudy early evening. Time and temperature sponsored by Circus Sports. Sports betting the way it should be with no bet fees. Sam Antonacci at the plate for the White Sox as Jamison Tyone starts him off with a slow-moving breaking ball for a strike, 0-1.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Tyone rocks back. High leg kick and pitch. It misses high and outside, 1-1. That was a fastball from Tyone. Antonacci led off the first with a single. And was along for the ride on the 3-run shot by Miguel Vargas. Here's the 1-1. Outside. 2-1 the count.
Demo trying to hit that outside corner with his off-speed stuff and the fastball. He's kind of fell off these last 2 pitches on the mound. And what I mean by that is he fell off towards the first base side a little more than normal. And when you do that, the arm doesn't catch up and finish the pitch quite like he would like. And those 2 balls ran off the plate away and up.
Tyone is ready. Now the 2-1. That's low to Antonacci. 3-1 the count. You've got to play the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Here comes the 3-1 delivery. And Tanachi bounces it foul off to the right. Full count. Packed house last night, first sellout of the season for the White Sox. 38,700 plus in the building yesterday. Got to figure it's going to be something around there tonight.
The standing room only here at Wright Field last night, and you could tell.
Yeah.
That was an energized crowd with obviously a lot of Sox fans, but a lot of Cub fans here too, which really makes it fun.
Ground ball hit wide of first behind the back, fielded by Bush. Underhand toss to Tyone, covering first in time. 1 away.
And it'll be the same way when we go to the north side and the White Sox show up. Both sets of fans show up, and they're ready for the ball game. They're no doubt. First pitch, their game on.
It's been fun. It's nice to have both teams playing an excellent level of baseball coming into this series. It's been a while. You could definitely feel a palpable buzz in the ballpark last night. The batter, Munetaka Murakami, and he looks at a changeup for a strike, 0-1.
I think that was the main thing we talked about Friday, Dustin, on your show, on Mully and Awe. Dustin is the producer of that show, and we all talk. And that's the great thing about what's going on right now is that pitch was challenged and it was wide. But that's the big thing, right? I mean, both teams are good, and the fan bases, they show up when that's the case.
Everybody's talking about it. You saw the parking lots driving in packed, both Cubs and Sox fans having a great time. And there's a buzz, and it's a good thing.
That last pitch, a cutter for a strike on the outside edge. The next pitch is a high fly ball hit to deep left center field. Carl Armstrong at the track near the wall. He leaps. And it's gone. Solo home run for Munetaka Murakami, his 16th of the year. And the White Sox now up 4-0 over the Cubs here in the third.
Now that's a high towering shot. And I mean towering. This ball has unbelievable hang time. Pete gets to the wall in left center and leaps into glove over the wall, trying to pull it back and just can't quite reach it. Ball really carrying here at right field.
Now Miguel Vargas at the plate. One hopper back to the mound, fielded by Tyone. Overhand throw to first. 2 away.
That was an opposite field, left center shot. And as I see it on the big board here in center showing the replay, that was a pretty good swing he put on that high and away changeup from Tyone.
Exit velocity 105 miles per hour on that home run. The batter now is Colson Montgomery. He looks at a ball off the outside. 1-0 the count. So 2 home runs tonight for the White Sox. They've got a 4-0 lead. 3-run shot by Vargas in the first. And the man they call Mune with a solo shot here in the third. As Tyone misses high and outside. 2-0. Murakami signed a 2-year, $34 million deal with the White Sox in December. It's worked out. The 2-0. High fly ball, deep right, looking up Suzuki. This one is gone. Right down the line, a deep bomb from Montgomery. He crushed it. 5-0 White Sox here in the third.
I would guess they're going to take a look at this one. It is hit a long way, right down the line. And to be honest with you, as the ball was getting to the foul pole, I could not tell if the ball was fair or foul just from our vantage point and the way you're looking through, the backdrop. I could not see the ball, and Counts is going to have them look at this.
On the home run call.
So we're hearing from Laz Diaz, the crew chief, but this ball was hit a long way down the line.
Yeah, Cubs are not challenging this. This is a crew chief review.
Yeah, but their Counts came out and said he wanted them to look at it.
And they agree.
Any ball that's close, you might as well have them look at it. It doesn't go against you with the review, to your point. That is correct. But I'm telling you, we have a pretty good vantage point down that right field line, and I could not tell.
They're taking a second look. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. So Laz Diaz, the crew chief, is in communication with the replay center in New York City as they review it.
The ball hit the glass of the stadium club right down the line. And, at the very top of over the bleachers and right. So,
according to the StatCast, that was a 442.
Yeah, no, that ball was hit. There's no doubt.
After the call stands, home run.
So there you go. It counts 5-0 White Sox. Here in the bottom of the third inning, the exit velocity on that Montgomery blast, 112 miles per hour. Video game numbers. Chase Mydroth at the plate. Looks at the ball up high from Tyone. 1-0. So second home run in the series for Montgomery, who now has 13 on the year. A 1-0 delivery. Mydroth looks at the ball inside. A fastball that missed. 2-0. Mydroth, a right-handed batter. Open stance, hits out of a crouch. The 2-0 is in there for a strike. Another fastball from Tyone.
J-Mo having a little bit of an issue here in the early going, and hence the reason for the 3 home runs of getting the ball down in the zone. There you go.
Mydroth swings and misses at a cutter low.
There are pitches, obviously, you want up in the zone, and that's part of pitching in today's game. But then there's also pitches you don't want up in the zone, and that's, your high breaking ball that sits about belt high or the high changeup. You don't really want those pitches up.
The 2-2 offering up high. So Mydroth has worked a full count. Andrew Benintendi on deck. White Sox with a 5-0 lead, 2 away here in the third. The pitch. And a ground ball hit to second, fielded on a belt-high hop by Shaw. Overhand throw to first in time. And that ends the third inning, but not before 2 long solo home runs by the White Sox. 5-0 Sox as we head to the fourth. On the score, the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, this is Nico Horner. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Ask FNIC Trusted Advisors in Plano if auto owners make sense for you.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Reach label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Save time every time for a great haircut. Just download the Great Clips app or check in online at greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app. Save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Zach?
Nico Horner looks at a cutter up high to begin the top of the fourth. Dustin, it's the White Sox with a 5-0 lead.
All right, going around Major League Baseball really quick. The Phillies took care of the Pirates 6-0. Currently, top of 3, Brewers and Twins are scoreless. And in the 6th inning, the Reds on top of the Guardians 4-2. Zach?
Thank you very much, Dustin. Dustin Rhodes with us tonight, filling in for me as I fill in for Pat here on the South Side. Game 2 of this 3-game set, South Side edition of the Crosstown Series. The 1-1 to Horner. is high and inside for ball 2. White Sox have blasted 3 home runs tonight. Miguel Vargas, a 3-run shot in the first, and then solo jobs in the third by Munetaka Murakami and then Colson Montgomery. The pitch. Horner bounces one up the middle and through for a base hit. That's the Cubs' first hit of the ball game. It comes here in the 4th.
Now, good job by Nico. And we were talking in between innings about the Cubs facing Martin, and he's been very good the first go around through the lineup. He reminds me of a guy, when a guy is executing his pitches, his good stuff, and has all the pitches of back and forth, up and down and in and out, you have to go up there and try to attack, but you have to hit the ball and just try to hit the ball where it's pitched and not try to dictate where you're going to hit the ball, whether you pull it or not.
Bush drives one deep to left, ranging back Antonacci, and he makes the catch on the track. Horner has to retreat back to first. Loud out by Bush, one away.
And that pitch. Now, Michael lets that ball get deep, and he puts the barrel on it. You know, he's about 2 or 3 feet from that ball either hitting the wall or going out of here. And that's, Cubs have had 2 good at-bats now in this inning. Bushy and Nico just hitting that little sinker right back through the middle.
Here comes Alex Bregman, who struck out swinging in the first. 0 for 1. 1 on, 1 out for the Cubs here in the top of the 4th. White Sox with a 5-0 lead. Davis Martin steps off the rubber. Time was called. Something happened to third baseman Miguel Vargas. Maybe he had to tie his shoelaces. So everything's been resolved, and we're ready for the resumption of play. Here's the pitch. It's in there for strike-sinking fastball to Bregman, 0-1. How common is it for a hitter to actually hit the ball where it's pitched?
Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no, and it depends on the hitter, too.
The 0-1, Bregman taps it foul off to the left.
There was a lot made of Bregman through the years of him being a pull guy and hitting the ball in the air. Well, he likes to dictate that he pulls pitches and gets them elevated to left field. On the flip side of that, Nico Horner, you would say, is a guy that sprays the ball around the field.
The 0-2, Bregman hits one softly left side. Charging, Vargas, he fields, no throw. Everyone's safe. Infield single for Bregman as Horner advances to second.
Well, this ball was pulled, but not pulled very hard. As this is a pitch down and away. Bregman gets out and just dribbles this ball towards third. Vargas comes in, but Bregman with very good speed and got out of the box really well. So the Cubs with 2 men on and 1 out. But, it's just there are some pitchers you have to give into a little bit and do what you think is going to be best to just have a good at-bat.
Ian Happ at the plate. 2 on, 1 away. Here's the pitch. Happ swings and misses at a fastball, 96 miles per hour. 0-1. Cubs are 1 swing away here from getting right back into the ballgame. The White Sox with a 5-0 lead, but the ball's been flying out of here. Happ switch hitter batting from the left side. Martin, the right-hander, works his motion and deals. Called strike 2, a changeup.
And that's that changeup, but it's 91 miles an hour. But it has good action. He threw it inside to Ian, and then it broke over the inside corner.
The pitch. Up high, snap throw to first, and it's off the glove of Murakami. Horner goes to third.
Now that's one of those plays, a little backdoor pick on Bregman. Murakami gets to first base, this throw, but he gets kind of blocked out by Bregman coming into the bag, so he has to go around Bregman. It never gets in front of him where he can make the catch. Be interesting to see who they give the error on. It's definitely an error. I would say it's got to be on the first baseman.
1-2 the count. Men at the corners. The pitch. Called strike 3. A curveball that froze Happ. 2 away. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the score. Middays with Rahimi Harrison Grody. 10-2 on 104.3 The Score. WSCR, WSCR FM, and HD1 Chicago.
Seiya Suzuki now digs in for the Cubs. We're in the top of the 4th. 5-0 White Sox. Men at the corners. The pitch is a called strike. Fastball near the bottom of the zone. 0-1. They've given the error, Boom to the catcher, Drew Romo.
Okay.
Righty-righty matchup. The 0-1 by Martin is low and outside. Errors by Cubs opponents are sponsored by North Shore, the MVP of adult diapers.
Yes, sir.
For even the heaviest control problems, visit northshore.com.
Congratulations, Zach.
Love having the people from North Shore with us on Cubs Radio. Horner at third, Bregman at first. Suzuki at the plate. The pitch is low and blocked by the catcher, Romo. The runners stay where they are. 2-1 on Sale.
See, now he's started him out with a good fastball and then 2 sliders down and away in the dirt. Now, to me, guessing in this situation or having an idea, this is where you just got to see the ball and hit what you see.
Suzuki bounces one to short, fielded on a high hop by Montgomery. The throw to Mydroth at second for the force. And that ends the top half of the 4th inning. Middle 4, it's the White Sox 5 and the Cubs nothing. On the score, the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, this is Craig Counsell. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
You're out of there, leaky store brands.
When all else fails, switch to North Shore Adult Diapers. That's total lockdown protection for even the heaviest control problems. Try North Shore Adult Diapers at northshore.com today and focus on life, not leaks.
Summer heat is almost here. Don't wait for your AC to break down. Call Four Seasons now for a complete AC tune-up for just $89.95. They'll back it up with a 1-year, no-breakdown guarantee. This price won't last long. Schedule your $89.95 AC tune-up today. For all your cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, you know who to call.
For all the right reasons, call 866 Four Seasons.
Do you know a hero who served our country and deserves recognition? This baseball season, one veteran will be honored on air each game as our Veteran of the Game. Nominate yours at thescorechicago.com today. Sponsored by JeffBuysYourHouse.com. Veteran-led and trusted since 2007.
Help Northern Illinois Food Bank strike out hunger this season. For over 40 years, we've been hitting home runs by providing our neighbors with nutritious meals that help them thrive. But we need you to step up to the plate. Together, we can make a great team with a shared purpose. Don't wait for the perfect pitch. Visit solvehungertoday.org to strike out hunger now. That's solvehungertoday.org. We're hungry for purpose. Are you?
Chicago weather is tough. Your home siding should be tougher. Hardy Siding is engineered for our climate. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com.
Bottom of the 4th, White Sox leading the Cubs 5-0. Jamison Tyone on the mound. The designated hitter, Andrew Benintendi, at the plate for the Sox. Tyone kicks and fires. Benintendi looks at a changeup low, 1-0 the count. White Sox have blasted 3 home runs tonight. Miguel Vargas, a 3-run shot in the first. Solo home runs in the third by Munetaka Murakami and Colson Montgomery. The pitch, big rip and miss by Benintendi. At a fastball, 1-1. So we've got to play the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. Whom do you want to start things off tonight?
We certainly can.
Let's do it after this pitch. Here comes the 1-1. Benintendi hits a high fly ball left center field. Racing over Pete Crow Armstrong. He can't get there. It bounces. And Crow Armstrong picks it up on the track as Benintendi leads off the 4th with a double.
It's a high breaking ball away, and Benintendi does not try to pull it. He just goes with it. Put a good swing in that ball, splits the gap in left center field. Pete grabs it on one hop right before it gets to the wall, and Benintendi, as you said, Zay, going to lead off double.
Here's Jared Kelnick, flied out to right his first time up. Powerful left-handed batter. The pitch. Swing and a foul back. Oh, man, that one took a bite out of Brian O'Nora, the home plate umpire. He's on one knee as Miguel Amaya grabbed him so he wouldn't fall down completely to the deck.
I think this ball hits Brian. I've known Brian a long, long time. Very good umpire. I think it hits him right in the mask. Oh. And I don't think, there are times you're ready for, but then there are times you're not. And it knocked him right down to his knee.
Oh, boy. And he would have fallen completely over had Amaya not grabbed him. The White Sox trainer racing out of the dugout to take a look at Onora.
Getting another look here in the booth. This is a foul tip. And it catches him right in the jaw. Like it'd be the bottom left part of his mask in the jaw. And
he let out a scream. And
Brian's been around our game a really long time. And been a very good umpire for a very long time. I'm still taking a look at Brian. I think he's putting his cap on here soon and trying to talk his way to stay in the game if I know Brian.
So while they're taking a look at Onora, crowd getting involved here. It's a raucous atmosphere on the south side. Game 2 of this 3-game set between the Cubs and White Sox. Cubs took the series opener last night 10-5. And the White Sox have a 5-0 lead here with no one out in the 4th.
I think Brian's going to come out of the game.
Yeah, so we're going to have a little bit of a delay here. As
I think Eric Backus just ran in behind home plate to where the umpire's dressing room and locker room would be. Yeah, Brian's giving up his baseballs. Brian's going to be done for that. I'm guaranteeing you. He's dizzy right now. Yeah, he's still bent over trying to get himself together. That's too bad. Brian, one of the great guys in our game. Brian Onora.
Classy move by the crowd on its feet. Applauding Onora as he heads back to the umpire dressing room with the White Sox trainer. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Eric Backus will take over as the home plate umpire. He's in the dressing room right now, getting the home plate umpiring equipment. So we're going to have a little bit of a delay here on the south side. No one out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Benintendi at second base. The batter, Kelnick. Sox leading the Cubs 5-0. So while we have this delay, let's play the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game.
And there you go. And you want me to start as what you asked?
Yeah.
I will say 38,000 flat.
Okay. I'm going to go 38,650. Dustin, welcome to the game.
Thanks, Zach. I believe that 37,073 of the Chicago sports fans just had a message to our friends north of the Cheddar Curtain.
Yes. That's one of the few things they could agree upon.
We could all agree on that.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
cheers
exactly
a Yingling. Yeah. Cheers a Yingling to that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Huh? We'll all have a flight post-game.
Perfect.
Yeah. Basically, to translate what Dustin was saying,
I don't think you have to for Chicago.
Yeah, I don't think there are a lot of people
there's a lot
in this
of love
building
for the green and gold here in the city.
There are not many fans in the park tonight who like the Green Bay Packers. I think is the best way of putting it.
Yes, our friends north of the Cheddar Curtain, Zach.
There you go. Richie?
I'm going to go 37,500.
Well, hopefully, Brian, we're in a delay. Brian Onora, the home plate umpire, took a foul tip right in the jaw and went to a knee, and the trainer for the White Sox came out to try to help him as Amaya literally caught him as he was going down to a knee. And we've known Brian a long time, so hopefully Brian will be okay. Brian Onora, he's been in the league since the early 90s, so we're in a little bit of a delay right now. Eric Backus, the third base umpire, went down to the dressing room to put his gear on, and I believe he will be the home plate umpire. Now we will play the remainder of the game with 3 umpires.
Yeah, Laz Diaz, Chris Siegel, and Backus, who will be calling the balls and strikes. And this gives us an opportunity to allow Dustin Rhodes to showcase his incredible broadcasting talent with a scoreboard update.
Thanks, Zach. We've got Reds, Guardians all even at 4, and this one now is in the top of the 7th inning. Brewers, Twins even at 1 in the middle of the 4th inning. Earlier tonight, we had the Pirates getting shut out by the Phillies. The final score 6-0. And since we were talking about the friends of ours north of the Cheddar Curtain, a little breaking NFL news, guys.
Oh, wow.
The former quarterback of the Packers is sticking around with the Steelers for one more year.
Aaron Rodgers
Really?
is back.
He's
He's going
back.
to be playing for his former coach in Green Bay, Mike McCarthy, now the head coach of the Steelers.
Now, you follow football. You have to all fall as baseball season winds down. Why does he wait so long to sign? I don't understand that.
Because he loves us to be talking about him, Coach. He wants to be at the heart of it, in my opinion, at the heart of it all. Okay, well, you'll have to wait and see what happens. Yeah. I wonder what the NFL thought. We just had the big schedule release, right, on Thursday. Yeah. And, the Steelers are the Steelers.
Right.
But Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers is bigger than just the Steelers. So, primetime games and whatnot. Yeah. So I wonder if they had any kind of a hunch or if they were left in the dark as well.
Still hearing a delay at right field. Brian O'Nora, the home plate umpire, took a foul tip right in the jaw and knocked him down. Amaya literally caught him as he was going to a knee. And after quite a few minutes of Brian trying to shake the cobwebs out, just couldn't, and he was dizzy. They took him off the field. And he went back down to his locker room, and Eric Backus will be the home plate umpire as soon as he can get his gear on and get back out here.
Yeah, he was manning second base to start the game. So as we wait, White Sox leading the Cubs 5-0 with no one out here in the bottom of the fourth. This day in baseball history is brought to you by villageofbedfordpark.com. It's time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. The first American League night game was played on this date, May 16, 1939, at Shibe Park in Philadelphia, with Cleveland beating the Athletics 8-3 in 10 innings.
How about that? First night game.
Yeah.
What year was that?
1939, the first American League night game. But you think about how the lights in these ballparks, and it's weird saying it when you're at Wrigley Field for all of your home games, but night baseball changed the game.
Yeah, and there's no doubt.
On this date in 1954, Ted Williams returned to action after breaking his collarbone in spring training, and all he did was go 8 for 9 with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs in a doubleheader against the Tigers. He had 3 hits in game 1, and then went 5 for 5 in the nightcap, including 2 home runs. Boston lost both games.
Wow, and they lost both games.
Yeah.
Yeesh. That's a tough one.
Very much so.
Guy goes 5 for 5 with 2 bombs. Usually don't lose.
Usually.
Yeah.
On this date in 1957, you'll love this story, the Yankees celebrate Billy Martin's 29th birthday in what's described here as raucous fashion. An ensuing fight at Manhattan's Copacabana Club leads to $5,500 in fines and the eventual trade of Martin to Kansas City. Hank Bauer allegedly starts the fight by hitting a patron, although Bauer denies it. You played for the Yankees. I'll bet you heard some wild stories.
Yeah, and Billy was right in the middle of them. Both as a player, with the Mantle and Maris and Whitey Ford, and then as a manager, we heard some. And Gene Monahan was the trainer, long-time trainer for the Yankees during Mantle's years on through to all those World Series teams in the late 90s and early 2000s. In Gino, you could sit there and listen to Gino in the training room all night talk about old Yankee stories.
And all he did was work with legends. Think about that.
It was unbelievable. He had story after story, and they were very entertaining. I don't know if we'd always want to use them for the air, but they were very entertaining.
That's funny. I was talking to Pete Crow Armstrong before last night's ball game here on the South Side, and he has not been shy about talking about the treatment that he gets here at Wrigley Field. And I asked him, give me your best story. And he did. But he said, before he started telling me the story, I don't think you can share this on the radio. And as he got into it, he's right.
Yeah,
I can't, but it's very colorful.
Some of that stuff you can't.
So I can only imagine the things that you heard about the legendary Yankee stories when you were a Yankee. On this date in 1997, Jim Leland returned to Pittsburgh for the first time wearing a uniform other than that of the Pirates. Leland, who spent 11 seasons as skipper in Pittsburgh, sees his new team, the Marlins, beat the Pirates 3-1. 2 days later, he left town with Florida's first ever sweep in Pittsburgh, and he eventually won a World Series championship with the Marlins. One of the big plays in that World Series against Cleveland was made by the guy managing the Cubs right now, Craig Counsell.
Absolutely. Counsell on that team. And here's Eric Backus. He has found his way back to the ballpark. I was wondering if he got lost, but he did not.
So you would know this, actually. I've been meaning to ask you, how much gear does a home plate umpire wear?
I don't know, but obviously a lot.
Because we're talking about, what, a 20-plus minute delay?
Yeah, J-Mo's pitch count has gone from like 30s to 80s with just the warm-up pitches. And now Laz Diaz is going to let Eric Backus get behind the plate and see a few pitches here first.
The reason for the delay, as Tyone starts warming up here, the reason for the delay is the home plate umpire who began the game, Brian Onora, took a foul ball off the mask and fell to a knee and was removed from the game as he was assisted off the field by the White Sox trainer. So we've got 3 umpires for the remainder of this game. Eric Backus is working home right now. Chris Siegel, who was working first to start the game, is kind of positioned near second base. Laz Diaz, the crew chief, down the third base line. The batter is Jared Kelnick. The count is 0-1, man at second base. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-1.
I would say this is a very difficult situation for Jameson Taillon. It's one of those things where, your pitch count is at this pitch will be pitch number 50.
Here it comes. Kelnick swings and misses, 1-2.
And you stand out on the mound just waiting for this, and I'm not quite sure how long our delay was, but substantial, right?
Yeah.
15 minutes, something like that.
Man at second, no one out. Now the 1-2 to Kelnick. And a line drive foul off to the right. Count remains 1-2. The White Sox have a 5-0 lead. If you're just tuning in, Miguel Vargas cracked a 3-run home run in the first. Munetaka Murakami hit a solo shot the other way to left center in the third. And also in the third, Colson Montgomery blasted a bomb down the right field line. Here's the 1-2. Kelnick swings and misses. Strike 3. Tyone gets him with a changeup. 1 away.
Like I said, this would be very beneficial for Tyone.
Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealer. That's the first strikeout of the night for J-Mo. Cool, you're always on it.
That's why they give you the big bucks.
No question about it. We kid, but you were spot on yesterday. Many plays. Tristan Peters looks at a changeup up high.
Throw the ball, the catcher's challenging.
Amaya, as you heard from Eric Backus, is going to challenge this.
Backus, like, I just got out here. Can you get a little rhythm here first?
And it is a strike. Flip the top of the zone.
Strike.
So J-Mo peers in, acknowledges the sign from Amaya, straightens up, works on the first base side of the rubber, looks at second, and deals. Peters rips one down the right field line, but hooking foul off the netting. 0-2.
Peters in his last at bat flew out deep to left center to Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete made a nice running catch right up by the wall.
And Intendi at second base. He led off this fourth with a double. Righty-lefty matchup with Peters at the plate. Tyone's ready to pitch. Inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Warner playing up the middle, just to the left of the second base bag. He's the shortstop tonight. J-Mo a long set. And now time called by Peters. Not sure if something flew into his eye. But he's okay. Digs back in. Peters, a native of Canada, who played his college ball at Southern Illinois. A 1-2 by Tyone. Bouncing ball foul off to the right.
That's one of the best curveballs J-Mo has thrown today. That one had good bite going straight down. Peters, the only thing he could do with it is just roll over it and hook it foul.
Benintendi at second, one down. Bottom four, White Sox 5, Cubs nothing. 1-2 the count on Peters. And the pitch. A bouncing ball hit up the middle, backhanded by Shaw. Across the body throw in time. Beautiful play by Matt Shaw. The speedy Peters is retired, 2 away. Moving to third on the play, Benintendi.
Shaw goes up the middle. It's an in-between hop he's going to get to. It's a very tough catch. And then once he makes the catch, now you're running hard kind of towards the left field foul line, and now you got to throw across your body. He throws a strike and gets something on it to get Peters.
The catcher, Drew Romo, at the plate. The pitch in there for strike. Taillon tossed over a slow-moving curveball that floated into the zone right along the outside edge, 0-1. Benintendi at third. Bregman playing wide of the bag on the dirt. Romo grounded out to first in the second. He's 0 for 1, left-handed hitter. Taillon along set, and here comes the 0-1. Called strike 2, another curveball from Taillon.
Yeah, that's his patented pitch. The pitch that starts out away and breaks to the outside corner. That was a good curveball.
Now the 0-2. Romo swings and misses. Chased a rising fastball for strike 3. Benintendi stranded at third base. After 4, it's the White Sox 5 and the Cubs nothing. All the score on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
The Cubs play here on 104.3 The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on oil?
We've got many markdowns on oil.
How about on that new STP Any Mileage?
You'll save $5 when you buy 5 quarts of STP Any Mileage with an oil filter and get up to 5,000 miles of protection.
Heck of a markdown for quite a lot of miles.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, baseball fans, step up to the plate like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports is sports betting the way it should be, with no bet fees in Illinois. Circa Sports brings you player-friendly pricing, enhanced in-game options, exceptional customer service, and more. Whether you're betting with the home team or scouting the next big matchup, take your swing with the Circa Sports app. Start betting like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com.
It's hard to imagine buying anything more important than your future home.
I know the place is empty, but do you hear that?
It sounds like Thanksgiving.
What about that puppy?
Let's do this.
With a mortgage from Consumers Credit Union, you get a super helpful team, low fees, and rates so great they make dreams come true. Consumers Credit Union, the people in your corner. Consumers Credit Union is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 692733. Federally insured by NCUA.
Every team needs a closer. Injured? Dial Pound Law. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs, Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
The Score and the Cubs are once again teaming up for the 24-hour Cubs for a Cure Radiothon starting this Thursday on 104.3 The Score. 100% of the proceeds will benefit Brain Up for cancer research. We get set for the top of the 5th here at Rate Field on the south side. White Sox with a 5-0 lead over the Cubs. Michael Conforto will dig in. He flied out to right his first time up. He's the left fielder today. Davis Martin, the right-hander on the hill. And the pitch is low and inside for ball 1. Martin, 29 years old, 6'2", 215 pounds. Native of Texas. The 1-0 delivery is a called strike, a changeup. 1-1 the count. Was born in Abilene, grew up in San Angelo. Played his college ball at Texas Tech. He was a 14th round pick in 2018. 14th round, the 408th overall selection in that draft. And here he is in the major leagues. The 1-1. Conforto lines one down the right field line and curling way foul out of play, 1-2. And not only is he in the major leagues, He's 5-1 to begin this game with a 1.62 ERA.
He's one of the most dominant guys in Major League Baseball right now.
The pitch. Conforto taps it foul off to the right. Caught on hot by Cubs first base coach Jose Javier, who tosses the ball into the stands for Souvenir. 1-2 the count.
He's got good arm action, so you don't pick the ball up out of his hand all that well. And he's got good pitches and great command.
1-2. Up high check swing. On appeal, Laz Diaz saying Conforto did not offer. Count 2-2.
All those things are, good combinations to say success as a pitcher.
The 2-2 is low, so Conforto has worked a full count. Martin made his big league debut in 2022. Then Tommy John surgery in 2023. Last year, 25 games, a record of 7-10, a 4+ ERA as Conforto hits a sky-high pop fly, shallow left. Coming in is the left fielder Antonacci, who makes the catch off to his left for out number 1 as Conforto is retired. Martin's tough, too. He's a linebacker in high school in Texas. So that's something.
Mm-hmm. Well, what he's featuring this year is not what he was featuring last year, I can tell you that. He has great command. He's got good pitches. He has thrown the ball exceptionally well all year.
The batter is Matt Shaw. He looks at a ball low, 1-0 the count. $5-0 White Sox with one down here in the 5th. The pitch. Shaw looks at a ball low and outside, 2-0. The technology available to pitchers now can quickly transform a man on the mound. And Martin clearly healthy now. The 2-0 delivery. Check swing at a pitch low and inside on appeal. Chris Siegel down the first base line said, that's a strike. Shaw went around, 2-1.
Shaw tried to check his swing, and then that two-seam fastball came boring. It's either a two-seamer or that hard changeup at 92 boring in on him. He tried to stop, couldn't.
The 2-1 delivery. Shaw takes a hefty cut and pops this one foul out of play off to the right. 2-2. Shaw's 0 for 1 tonight. He's robbed of a hit. Beautiful diving catch by the center fielder Peters in the 3rd. Martin deals. Low and outside. Full count. We've seen Shaw at a number of different positions this season. Mostly right. Seen him in center. He's at second base tonight. The 3-2. Shaw pops it up on the infield near the mound. Off to the right, it's Murakami, the first baseman, who darts in to make the catch behind the mound. 2 away.
Now 2 outs here in the 5th, and, we are wondering about Martin, and what we're going to see and how, what it's been like. We're seeing it. He has been very good. Cubs have hit one ball hard for a base hit. Nico Horner grounded one right back through the middle.
Now the batter, Pete Crow Armstrong, a big rip and a miss at a curveball. 0-1. Cubs have just 2 hits tonight. That single by Nico Horner, and then an infield single by Alex Bregman. 5-0 White Sox. The 0-1. Crow Armstrong looks at strike 2, a changeup.
It's a changeup, but it's 92 miles an hour. So really, it's a pitch that he can command that's firm with good movement. That ball has great movement on it. Running back, either away from the left-handed hitter, and there's another one.
Fastball called strike 3 right at the top of the zone. Crow Armstrong doesn't like the call. Has a conversation with Eric Backus. Cubs go down in order in the top of the 5th. Middle 5, White Sox 5. Cubs nothing. On the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
This is your home for every pitch of Cubs baseball on 104.3 The Score and the Cubs Radio Network.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Coom here. Baseball's been around a long time, since the 1800s, when pitchers threw underhand. You know what's been around even longer? Yuengling. Yuengling started brewing in 1829. People were drinking a cold Yuengling before baseball even existed. No box scores, no seventh inning stretches, just great beer that stood the test of time for 197 years. So next time you're at a ballpark, grab a Yuengling traditional lager, because just like baseball, legends stand the test of time. Yuengling is proud to be the official beer of the Cubs radio network.
DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA.
The summer starts here at Toyota. From sun-soaked adventure to weekend getaways, our versatile lineup is ready to ride. Visit your local Toyota dealer and save big. Toyota, let's go places.
For a limited time, you can purchase an ALS t-shirt at ivyshop.com as Jamison Tyone works his motion and deals. The first pitch to Sam Antonacci is putter for a strike. And Antonacci is going to challenge that one. He was near the bottom of the zone, right along the outside edge. Taking a look at the replay here, and it is a ball. So Antonacci wins the challenge. That ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. White Sox with a 5-0 lead over the Cubs. Antonacci 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Tyone kicks and fires. And Antonacci takes a ball low, 2-0 the count. So for a limited time, you can purchase an ALS t-shirt from ivyshop.com. All proceeds benefit Project Main Street, a nonprofit dedicated to assisting those living with ALS. Head over to Ivy Shop now to get yours. Tyone misses low and inside. 3-0 the count. 5-0 White Sox. The pitch in there for a strike, a sinking fastball from Tyone. White Sox with a lot of firepower. They've got 3 home runs tonight. Miguel Vargas, a 3-run job. Murakami and Montgomery with solo shots. Strike 2 called. Slow-moving breaking ball. It spins into the zone. So 3-2 on Antonacci.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Antonacci taps it foul at the play. That one may have done a piece of Amaya. So Eric Backus, the home plate umpire, walks toward the mound, flips a new ball to Tyone. And even though home plate is wetting dress white, Backus cleaning it up just a little bit to give Amaya more time to recover. We're ready for the resumption of play. The payoff pitch, Antonacci fists one the other way, base hit to left.
Now it's the fastball inside, up and in, and little inside-out swing, shoots this ball over Bregman's head, kind of in the hole between short and third for a leadoff single.
Second hit of the ball game for Antonacci, and here comes the dangerous Munetaka Murakami. He walked in the first and scored a run, hit an opposite field home run in the third. Powerful left-handed batter. Tyone delivers. Big swing and a miss and a fastball 0-1. With the defensive alignment the Cubs are using at the moment, no one is defending third base. Bregman playing where shortstop normally would, the shortstop corner up the middle to the left of the bag. Tyone along set. Antonacci dancing off the bag. The 0-1. High fly ball hit to deep right center field. Cole Armstrong looks up, and this one is gone. Second home run of the night for Munetaka Murakami. And the White Sox have a 7-0 lead here in the fifth.
Now this is what we've heard about, but we haven't seen it. And this is a fastball up and out over the plate. It might even be on the outside corner. But he covers it, and he hits this ball just to the right field side of the hitting background. And this is no doubt home run.
428 feet. The batter, Miguel Vargas. He looks at a cutter for a strike, 0-1. Murakami now with 17 home runs this season. The pitch. Vargas hits a sky-high pop fly to right, angling toward the line. Suzuki, he's there and makes the catch. One away. The first out is sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi. One price for 5 years. Xfinity. Imagine that.
All opponents' pitching change. They're sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs. Leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com.
Here's Colson Montgomery. He homered his last time up. It was a shot. The pitch up high. 1-0 the count. The Montgomery home run was 442 feet down the right field line with an exit velocity of 112 miles per hour. The 1-0. Low and outside. 2-0 now on Montgomery. Definitely get an understanding for the White Sox as Taillon misses low and inside. It's now 3-0 with Montgomery at the plate. Brett Counsell mentioned this yesterday on the manager show, but you can definitely get an understanding why the White Sox have improved when you watch the position group that they put out there. What a lineup. The 3-0. Swing and a miss by Montgomery, 3-1.
Yeah, you had the first baseman who, is a legit power hitter. And then guys like that are at the plate right now. Montgomery is, really kind of found himself in the big leagues where he got 13 or 14 home runs now. And, he's playing a good shortstop. You've got a bunch of guys around this field that know what they're doing.
An awkward swing and miss at a curveball by Montgomery, 3-2.
And you got a guy managing your ball club that was in the big leagues a long time and, has them playing a certain style of baseball that when he looks around the field that they can play.
This one is pulled on the ground, foul by Montgomery, 3-2.
This is a fiery kind of a lineup that guys are running around and playing a fun brand of baseball. And, there for a while, the White Sox weren't playing that way. They were, there's a lot of talk amongst the scouts. They didn't hustle a lot.
Popped up, left side, foul out of play.
We only see them for 6 ball games a year, or maybe 5, 6, 7 games a year. But, you heard that they weren't playing very hard and all those things. We're not seeing that now. That is not the case. This team plays hard, and they've got some talented young players.
Now the 3-2. Montgomery fouls it back off the screen. So they'll do it again. Battle going on here between Taillon and Montgomery.
So guys moving around in the Cubs bullpen.
The next pitch will be number 81 on the night for Taillon. 7-0 White Sox. Here's the 3-2. Montgomery hits a sky-high fly ball, foul territory off to the right. 3 Cubs in the area, and it's Suzuki who makes the catch right near the sidewall for out number 2. Shaw raced all the way back there from the second base position, and Bush with a long run from first. Suzuki makes the play, 2 down.
Yeah, outstanding job by Suzuki. Getting to that wall, as you talked about yesterday, the side walls when you go down the lines here at right field are very short. So, as a position player, if you're going to run close to that wall or start to lean in, they're only about knee high. So you're going to fall into the stands for sure, into the netting.
Chase Mydroff swings and misses at a cutter from Taillon, 0-1. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. White Sox up 7-0. The 0-1 to Mydroff. There's a called strike as Taillon goes with a sweeper, just a slow-moving breaking ball. It's spun into the zone. Here comes the 0-2. Pulled on the ground, backhanded, sliding stop. Bregman up on his feet, throw to first, dug out beautifully by Bush, who ends up on his backside. What a play! Meidroth is retired. That ends the fifth inning. But not before the White Sox add 2 more runs on the long bomb by Murakami. 7-0 White Sox as we head to the 6th on the score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Join us for some Cubs talk to start your day. Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on 104.3 The Score.
Join us at Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, our biggest trade event of the year, May 14th through the 17th. Trade in your RV and get the highest value guaranteed. Then upgrade for less with new RVs starting as low as $94 a month. Plus, take 25% off select maintenance services. Save up to 40% on camp-ready must-haves. And enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Red, White, and New Trade event at your local Camping World, May 14th through the 17th. We'll see you there.
Hey Cubs fans, Southwest Airlines here on why flying Southwest from Chicago just makes sense. The nonstops you want, the reliability you need, and an elevated experience. With free Wi-Fi for Rapid Rewards members thanks to T-Mobile, plus options for extra legroom seats. They're like a 7th inning stretch for your whole flight. Southwest Airlines, official airline of your Chicago Cubs. Visit southwest.com/airfare-types-benefits for more information. Available on Wi-Fi enabled designated aircraft.
Imagine having your skull detached from your spine to save you from paralysis. When Phil came to Northwestern Memorial Hospital, his spine was digging into his brainstem, but our team developed a plan to rebuild his spine.
Nationally ranked for neurology and neurosurgery by U.S. News and World Report, Northwestern Medicine is pioneering treatments for the toughest conditions. Incredibly, Phil was walking just days after surgery.
As Phil's nurse, I'm proud to be on a team that's changing lives.
Northwestern Medicine, better.
Refresh your home with Benjamin Moore. Now through May 25th, save 20% on premium Benjamin Moore exterior paints and stains at participating dealers. Visit BenjaminMoore.com.
Miguel Amaya on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Cubs playing catch-up here. Game 2 of this 3-game set on the south side against the White Sox. They're down 7-0 as we begin the top of the 6th. Davis Martin deals, and Amaya looks at a strike curveball. 0-1. Right at the top of the zone on the inner half. Martin works on the first base side of the rubber. The kick and pitch. Amaya hits a high fly ball deep left, and Tanachi goes back at the track near the wall, looks up, it's gone. Miguel Amaya, solo shot to left, and the Cubs are on the board. That's Amaya's 3rd home run of the year. 7-1 Sox here in the 6th.
Good swing by Amaya. He just drops ahead of the bat on this pitch. Didn't try to do too much with it, and that's just a line drive. I wasn't sure if it was going to get out of the park or not because of the way it was hit. It was hit very hard, but as we said, the ball really carrying here at right field.
Now Nico Horner at the plate. The pitch. Nico looks at the breaking ball for a strike. 0-1.
And let's see what's on tap here in the 6th inning, sponsored by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. And that one was in flight.
Oh, yeah.
Swing by Amaya.
That's the velocity 100 miles per hour, a 372-foot drive. The 0-1. Horner bounces one left side, charging Montgomery, barehanding, throwing in time to get Horner. Nice play by the White Sox shortstop to get his counterpart tonight. Horner, one away.
It's one of those do-or-die plays for Montgomery. He feels like with Nico running, if he catches this bounding ball with his glove, he's not going to get Nico. So he barehands this ball, and he catches it about knee-high, which is a very tough barehanded catch, but makes a great play.
Michael Busch stands in. 7-1 White Sox here in the 6th. Busch, a check swing and a pitch low and outside. He did not offer. 1-0 the count.
Martin now at 74 pitches, so he's still, he's still got some gas left in the tank.
The 1-0. Busch looks at a strike, a breaking ball that spins into the zone. 1-1.
That's the key when a guy, is throwing well, but he's throwing strikes, and he's throwing strikes early in the count. You have to be accountable to that.
Busch, a big swing and a miss at a 95-mile-per-hour heater. 1-2.
And that's what's allowing him, even with these, the pitch counts, for him to stay in the game.
Bush digs in. Left-handed batter against the right-hander, Mark. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Bush swings. Little pop fly, shallow left. It may drop, and it does in front of Antonacci for a base hit. So Michael Bush has now reached base safely in 17 straight games.
And this is one of those things, where the Cubs, you get the home run from Amaya. Now Bushy just hits a little soft single to left. Now you get another big swing of the bat by somebody to hit one out of here, and now you get a ball game.
Maybe it's Alex Bregman who's at the plate now. Right-handed batter. The pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Romo. Bush stays at first. Bregman's been hot lately. He's 1 for 2 tonight with an infield single, but entering play, hitting better than 300 on this road trip, which started last week in Texas. The pitch. Bregman lands one down the left field line. It drops in for a base hit, rolling all the way to the wall. Bush on his way to third base, and he'll stop there as Bregman cruises into second with a double.
Now, here come the Cubbies in the offense. They're swinging the bats this inning. Amaya with a home run. Bushy with a little soft single to left. And now Bregman, we were talking about him earlier in the game, heating up. And, that's his forte. He pulls the ball and gets it elevated to the pull side. That's what everybody talks about with him. And he does it there. He didn't get it elevated to where he hit it out of the park, but a line drive bullet down the left field line.
Doubles by Cubs batters are sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Reliable, comfortable, convenient. Southwest just makes sense. Cubs threatening, men at second and third, just one away here in the top of the sixth inning. White Sox with a 7-1 lead. And here comes the Cubs cleanup man, Ian Happ, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. One swinging, one looking.
Well, Happer leads the Cubs in home runs. This will be a good time.
He's got 10 on the year. Here's the pitch. Happ looks at a strike, a fastball at 96 miles per hour right along the outside edge. Knee high. Bush at third, Bregman at second. Happ at the plate. The 0-1 by Martin is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cleanup hitters for the Cubs, sponsored by Chicagoland's appliance leader, Grand Appliance. Get your all-star KitchenAid kitchen today at grandappliance.com. A 1-1 delivery. Happ fouls it back off the screen.
Ian got a good fastball to hit about belt high out over the plate. Put a good swing on it, just fouled it straight back.
So 1-2, the count on Happ. Seiya Suzuki on deck. It's the third time around in the order for the Cubs against Martin, and they're having some success here. The 1-2. Low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Amaya started the frame with a solo shot to left. Bush reached on a single, then Bregman a double. 1 down. The 2-2. Happ swings and misses. Strike 3. Martin gets him with a sinking fastball, 2 away.
Now they said sinker, it's a changeup again, and that's, that hard changeup, and he gets great action with it, moving down and away from Ian, but it's firm. It comes out looking like a changeup, but it's 92, 93 miles an hour.
Here's Seiya Suzuki, the pitch. Seiya looks at a ball low, a slider that missed. Suzuki 0 for 2 tonight. 1 big swing. And 3 more runs can come on the board. Pitch, low and outside. 2-0. Seiya's got 7 home runs this season.
I'd be surprised if Seiya gets anything in the middle of the plate in where he can turn on something. If he can get a breaking ball that's up and out over the plate, as strong as he is, he can blast one to right center.
Seiya waits. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. with a monster cut on a fastball.
Yeah, high gas there. That was just rearing back and throwing a high fastball as hard as you can throw it.
Bush is at third. Bregman is at second base. 2 away here, top of the 6th, 7-1 White Sox. Now the 2-1. That's a curveball that spins into the zone for strike 2-2. The inner half about knee-high. Crowd making noise here on the south side, trying to help Martin get out of the jam. Here's the 2-2. Oh, almost hits Sayers. He spins out of the way. And Eric Backus turns to the Cubs dugout. Spread Council has the hand up. Will the Cubs challenge this? It's an inside fastball right above the belt.
And Council yelled out to Backus because it's loud here at right field. They're not going to challenge this inside fastball. Just missed Suzuki's front elbow with that elbow guard.
Okay, so the count is 3-2. It's Suzuki at the plate now. Time called by Seiya. Bush at third, Bregman at second, 2 away. Top 6, White Sox up 7-1. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Martin gets Suzuki with a slider. And the Cubs leave 2, but get on the board with a home run by Amaya. 7-1 White Sox, middle 6 on the score. Northwestern Medicine, Cubs Radio Network.
This is your home for every pitch of Cubs baseball on 104.3 The Score and the Cubs Radio Network.
There are trucks, and then there's the 2026 GMC Sierra with the capability to handle what life throws your way. That's the GMC Sierra, where power meets precision in a truck that leads where it matters most. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. We are professional grade. During GMC Truck Month, well-qualified buyers get 2.9% APR for 72 months on 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 models. Plus, no monthly payments until after Labor Day. See your local GMC dealer today. Monthly payment is $1,515 for every $1,000 you finance. Average example down payment is 9.6%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers will not qualify. Deferred monthly payments for 130 days. Excludes residents of Pennsylvania. Down payment required at signing if applicable. Finance charges accrue from data financing. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 6/1/26.
The time to refresh your interior space is now. FinishingChicago.com has the industry experts in glass systems, drywall finishing, wall covering, commercial painting, and signage. Whether it's a hotel lobby or a corporate workspace, first impressions matter. Now more than ever, people expect spaces that feel refreshing, thoughtful, and aligned with how they live and work. Make the most of your space by utilizing Finishing Chicago contractors. For a great finish, start with FinishingChicago.com.
Who's on first? Southwest Airlines, ranked first among U.S. airlines by the Wall Street Journal. Based on WSJ's 2025 rankings, see southwest.com/WSJ.
Bottom of the 6th inning here on the south side. White Sox leading the Cubs 7-1. Jamison Taillon on the mound. Andrew Benintendi at the plate. Taillon works his motion and deals. Benintendi looks at a strike, a fastball clocked at 92 miles per hour from Taillon. Right at the top of the zone on the outer half. Righty-lefty matchup. Here comes the 0-1. High and tight to Benintendi. 1-1 strike. White Sox have flexed their muscles tonight. Munetaka Murakami with a pair of home runs, a solo job, and a 2-run shot. Miguel Vargas a 3-run home run. As Taillon misses low and inside to Benintendi. 2-1 the count. Colson Montgomery with a solo home run as well. So 4 home runs on the night for the White Sox. And 1 home run for the Cubs. Miguel Amaya's solo shot on the top of this frame. The pitch. Benintendi fouls it back just below us. Out of play. 2-2. Cubs took the opener of this 3-game set last night by a 10-5 count. Cubs had 14 hits in last night's ball game. They've got just 5 hits this evening. Here's the 2-2. Benintendi looks at a ball, a cutter that missed off the outside. So it's a full count. Taillon peers in, acknowledges the sign from Amaya. Here's the pitch. Benintendi hits a high fly ball deep right. Suzuki looks up, and this one's way out of here. hits the bullpen into the bleachers. It's the 5th home run of the game for the White Sox. A solo shot by Andrew Benintendi. 8-1 Sox here in the 6th.
It's just been one of them games for J-Mo. He just hasn't had his good command today. The breaking ball has been up. The changeup at times has been up. And he's just missed in the middle of the plate. Unlike his last outing that we saw in Texas where he was dialed in and making great pitches, tonight just not his night.
And Craig Counsell is going to make a pitching change. That's it for Tyone. Cubs pitching changes are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. 8-1 White Sox with no one out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. This is the score on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Michael Bush. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000. Use code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000.
Chicago weather is tough. Your home siding should be tougher. Hardy Siding is engineered for our climate. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com.
The new man on the mound for the Cubs is 28-year-old right-hander Ethan Roberts. 5 games this season, has yet to allow an earned run. Roberts takes over for Jamison Tyone. All White Sox so far this evening. They got an 8-1 lead over the Cubs. This is the middle game of a 3-game set. Southside edition of the Crosstown Series. Jared Kelnick will stand in, powerful left-handed batter. Right-hander Roberts, spectacle, works on the first base side of the rubber. Sets up high, kicks and fires. Kelnick bounces it foul off to the right, 0-1.
Now for Roberts, you just try to keep this game right here. The Cubs are going to end up getting into the bullpen now of the White Sox when they, for the 7th inning, and you just hope that you can start doing some damage. This ballpark, I've seen it many times playing here. You can put up some big numbers in a hurry, so you got to keep playing this ball game.
Roberts misses off the outside with a breaking ball, 1-1 the count. Final tally on Jamison Tyone, 5+ innings, 8 runs on 8 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 5 home runs. Roberts steals. Kelnick looks at a ball low and inside. A cutter that missed, 2-1. Roberts peers in, acknowledges the sign from Amaya. He's ready. Works his motion and deals. The 2-1. Foul back just to the left of us out of play. 2-2.
We are definitely in foul ball territory here. I have caught a foul ball here in our boots, so be ready, Zane.
I'm just happy you're to my left. In the event that a ball comes screaming up here, you've got excellent hands. I do not. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a tap foul behind the plate. 2-2 on Kelnick. And the ball does come up here in a hurry.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it can get here quickly.
Yeah. I'll be protecting the laptop in front of me and the rest of me. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Roberts is ready. The pitch. Kelnick swings and misses. Strike 3. Roberts gets him with a cutter. 1 away. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams. We are 104.3 The Score, WSCR, WSCR-FM and HD1 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
One down here in the bottom of the sixth inning. White Sox leading the Cubs 8-1. Tristan Peters at the plate, 0 for 2 tonight. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Roberts. And the pitch. Off the outside, 1-0. A reminder, the first out is sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. Sun beginning to set here on the south side as the lights take more and more of an effect. A 1-0. Peters looks at a cutter that missed. 2-0 now the count. It was low. Roberts had one of those unfortunate, strange injuries earlier this season. The 2-0 offer. He is in there for a strike. Breaking ball that floated into the zone. 2-1 on Peters. Cubs were in Philadelphia. This was early in the year. And Roberts was exercising near the weight room in Philadelphia, doing plyometrics. The 2-1. Peters fouls it out of play off to the left. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And as he's doing his exercises, a vent fell out of the wall. It was headed for his leg, so he used his right hand to deflect the vent.
Yeah.
What do you know? Slices the middle finger on his throwing hand. Here's the 2-2. High and outside, so a full count with Peters at the plate. Roberts ended up going on the injured list. Not serious, but still a cut middle finger makes it difficult to perform at a high level. Good to see him back out there on the mound. One of 2 strange injuries that the Cubs have had this season. The other one, Matthew Boyd tweaking his knee, just playing with his kids like any dad would, right? The payoff pitch. Peters takes ball 4 low. So he heads to first base with 1 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. White Sox up 8-1, and it'll bring up Drew Romo, the number 9 hitter. But the good news is that Matthew Boyd is here. We saw him at the ballpark yesterday. He's throwing, making progress after a procedure to that left knee. So hopefully he'll be back much sooner than later. Roberts delivers. Romo looks at a ball off the outside, 1-0.
Just from my own experience, the key for like Matthew is his knee itself was in really good shape, right? The knee joint wasn't all that damaged other than the one injury he had. So, the recovery of coming back from something like that is pretty quick.
Ground ball hit on the right side, fielded by Shaw to second for 1. Horner fires to first in time, double play. And that ends the 6th inning. The White Sox had another run on the solo shot by Benintendi. 8-1 Sox as we head to the 7th. On the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Craig Counsell. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
I was told that I could trust CertaPro painters to get the job done right, and boy, did they ever. My entire process working with them was worry-free, starting with a free estimate, reliable communication the entire way, professional painting, all at the right price. With CertaPro painters, you're partnering with trusted local professionals with over 70,000 5-star reviews. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
The Volvo XC90 is equipped with 7-seat versatility for surprise team practice carpools, dynamic storage for when quick stops at the antique market turn into a whole new living room set, with Google built in for when you choose the road more exciting, and innovative technology and advanced safety features for all your precious cargo. The Volvo XC90, designed for life. Visit volvocars.com/US to learn more. Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
At Busey Wealth Management, we're proud to partner with individuals, families, and foundations, ensuring possibilities become achievements. From preserving and enhancing your assets to securing your legacy for future generations, we're focused on your success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini, member FDIC.
We're gearing up for another season, and you can too at Suits 2020 in Niles. More than just amazing suits, casual wear, sportswear, and more. Suits 2020, the latest fashions at the lowest prices.
Getting set for the top of the 7th inning here at Wright Field on the south side. The White Sox with an 8-1 lead over the Cubs. It's the middle game of a 3-game set. Cubs took the opener last night 10-5. Davis Martin now out of the game for the White Sox. New man on the mound. Left-hander Brandon Eisert takes over. 2 games this season. He's allowed 4 earned runs on 6 hits and 2 1/3. That's a whopping ERA of 15. Michael Conforto stands in. Eisert deals, and Conforto looks at a strike. Sinking fastball, 0-1 the count. Conforto is 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. The next pitch misses, 1-1 the count. Fastball inside, just above the knees. Eisert works on the first base side of the rubber. He deals, and Conforto bangs it foul on the ground to the right, 1-2. Cubs are just happy to see anybody out there not named Davis Martin. Who went 6 innings tonight, 1 run on 5 hits, no walks. He struck out 7.
I think there's been a few teams that say that, right? That's the way it looks. He has been outstanding all season long with under a 2 ERA.
The pitch, low. 2-2 now on Conforto. Yeah, Martin started the night with a 1.62 ERA. I believe, doing the math real quick off the top of my head, and it's now at 1.61.
Yeah.
The pitch, inside. So Conforto has worked a full count, and I really didn't do it off the top of my head.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I'm not that smart.
I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, though. I didn't question you.
Yeah, but
guilt got you.
I know our man Pat's listening, and he would ask me on Monday, how did you do that so quickly?
Uh-huh.
Well, I got the Google machine. Here's the payoff pitch. Inside to Conforto, ball 4. Leadoff walk for the Cubs to begin the 7th inning.
Well, that's the one thing when you got a big lead that the last thing you want to do is come in and walk the leadoff guy in an 8-1 ball game. See if the Cubs can start doing a little damage here in this ball game.
Matt Shaw at the plate, right-handed batter. 0 for 2 tonight. The pitch. Check swing at a pitch in the dirt on appeal. No swing, says Chris Siegel at first. 1-0 the count. Walks a Cubs batter, sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Speeding in the work zone is like arguing with the ump. A no-win. Mind the signs, avoid the fines. There are only 3 umpires in the game tonight. The pitch. There's a slider that spins into the zone for a strike. 1-1. The home plate umpire at the start of the game, Brian Onora, had to leave after taking a foul ball off the mask. The 1-1 up high. 2-1 now on Shaw. So the second base umpire, Eric Backus, raced into the dressing room and got the umpire gear for the plate. And he's calling the balls and strikes. Here's the 2-1. Low and inside. 3-1 now on Shaw. So Siegel, the first base umpire, is positioned where any normal first base umpire would be. No umpire is manning the third base area right now. Laz Diaz is around second. The pitch. It's a called strike.
Yeah, the way the mechanics will go, they rotate as the ball gets put in play. They'll rotate around to cover where the play would be instead of just staying where they're at.
The payoff pitch to Shaw. Bouncing ball hit back a third. Backhanded by Vargas to second for 1. Might drop to first. Not in time. But the lead man Conforto erased from the bases on the fielder's choice. Shaw safe at first.
That hits this ball down the line. Nice play by Vargas to get this ball to second base in a hurry. But Matty beats the throw.
Here comes Pete Crow Armstrong. 0 for 2 tonight.
Back in this 7th inning is sponsored by Volt.
8-1 lead for the White Sox here in the top of the 7th inning. Conforto at first base with one down, and the batter is Pete Crow Armstrong. The pitch is a called strike. Yeah, for a brief second, power went out across the ballpark here at Wright Field.
Yeah, and then it clicked right back on.
Including the lights.
I think somebody leaned on the switch in the room. Sorry.
Imagine being that person. Pete Crow Armstrong swings and misses at a slider, 0-2.
But like in the entire ballpark.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Like the crowd went, ooh.
Yeah. So did my partner.
Yeah. I think all of us did. Here's the 0-2. Low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know, there's a fireworks show that they have here at Wright Field after Friday night games. I wasn't quite sure what was taking place in the middle of this one. The pitch. Low and outside.
Good take again by Pete on some breaking balls away.
So the count is 2-2. Shaw is at first base. 1 down here in the top of the 7th. White Sox with an 8-1 lead. Crow Armstrong waits. Isert deals inside. So PCA has worked a full count.
I was going to read this before the power outage. 7th inning. Sponsored by Volvo XC90. Room for everyone, ready for wherever the road takes you. Volvo XC90.
A payoff pitch inside, ball 4. So PCA draws a walk. Maybe the Cubs have something going here. Men at first and second with just 1 away. And the man stepping to the plate, Miguel Amaya, has the big hit of the night for the Cubs. A solo shot his last time up.
Boy, now this is where, you can get yourself back into this game. Couple hits here now, and you start getting that line moving. You can put some pressure on this young White Sox team.
Amaya waits. Isert deals. A big swing and a foul back. 0-1.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
The Cubs have excellent speed on the bases. Shaw at second, PCA at first. And Amaya at the plate with an 0-1 count. The lefty, Isert, looks at second, works his motion and deals. A big swing and a miss by Amaya at a fastball in the hole. 0-2. Walks of Cubs batters sponsored by It's Not a Game, Illinois.com. Speeding into work zone is like arguing with the ump, a no-win. Mind the signs, avoid the fines. Isert has walked 2 batters here in this 7th inning. Cubs down by 7. 8-1 the score. White Sox on top. Isert's ready. Here's the pitch. Amaya grounds one through into left field for a base hit. Stopping at third base, Shaw. So the bases are loaded for the Cubs with just 1 away. And here comes Nico.
Now this Cubs needed. They got a little help with a couple walks in the inning. But that's, you want to keep the line moving. Now if Nico can do a little damage here, the Cubs can get right back in this game. It is 8-1, but an extra base hit or a long one, and you're right in the game.
Time called. White Sox pitching coach Zach Bove heads out to the mound to have a conversation with the left-hander Isert. The catcher Romo out there as well. And what we've seen the Cubs do so many times this season is just keep playing the game. Just keep grinding, even when things sort of look hopeless, as they did with Davis Martin on the hill. But he's gone now, facing the Sox bullpen, and Cubs are trying to rally.
White Sox getting a right-hander up in a hurry in that pen.
All right, so here's Horner, 1 for 3 tonight with a single. Right-handed batter against the left-hander, Isert. Bases loaded. The pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Romo. Runners stay where they are. Shaw at third. Crow Armstrong at second. Amaya at first. White Sox up 8-1.
Nico leading the Cubs in RBIs with 29. He's got 4 bombs.
Isert kicks and fires. And Nico looks at a strike. Fastball, 1-1.
Isert, not a hard thrower. That fastball was 90 miles an hour. Deception is his thing on the mound.
The pitch. Low and inside. 2-1 now on Nico. Cubs with the bases loaded, just one away here in the top of the 7th. Warner waits, the pitch. And a high fly ball, shallow right near the line, racing over and making a running catch, Kelnick. The runners stay where they are. Kelnick still throws home. It was wide of the plate, more towards the backstop than home plate. But Shaw did not attempt to tag. 2 away.
Now Nico hits this ball down the line, a little pop-up. Having an ill-advised throw by Kelnick. Nice play by Romo, staying in a game where he goes and gets this ball. That could have been a run for the Cubs if he didn't make that catch on that ill-advised throw.
Here's the Cubs' hottest hitter lately, Michael Busch. Stands in with the bases loaded and 2 away here in the 7th. The pitch. Off the outside, ball 1. Busch is 1 for 3 with a single. He's got a 17-game on-base streak. During that streak, 7 extra base hits. The pitch is a check swing.
Run the ball,
up
the catch is
high.
challenging.
Romo's going to challenge this.
ABS challenges instant replays. This ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine.
And it's a strike right at the top of the zone along the inside edge, 1-1. A big challenge there by Romo. It works. Busch with 13 RBIs during that 17-game on-base streak. Here's the pitch. Called strike. Fastball with some sink to it. On the outside edge, near the bottom of the zone. 1-2. Cubs with the bases loaded, 2 away here on the top of the 7th. 8-1 White Sox. Crowd making a lot of noise here on the south side. The pitch. Busch taps it foul behind the plate. It's a changeup from Isert.
Little inside changeup to Bushy, and he just spoiled a pretty good pitch.
So here we go again. 1-2 the count. Busch digs in. Lefty-lefty matchup. Isert delivers. In the dirt, blocked by Romo. Ball bounces in front of him. Runners stay where they are, 2-2.
Isert threw that breaking ball. That ball bounced a foot in front of home plate. Excellent play by Romo to save a run.
Shaw at third, Crow Armstrong at second, and Maya at first. Busch at the plate. Here's the 2-2. And a ground ball hit on the right side. Fielded by Mydroth. The flip to first. And the White Sox work their way out of the bases loaded jam. Time to stretch here on the south side. White Sox up 8-1 on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering every Cubs game all season long, Rahimi, Harris, and Grody, middays 10-2 on 104.3 The Score.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
For 120 years, Sloan has led the way in innovation, water efficiency, and sustainability, a legacy that has extended to the friendly confines. As the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs, Sloan has supported fans with hygienic restroom products at Wrigley Field for over a century. Today, Sloan's bottle fillers provide Cub fans with clean drinking water while helping reduce plastic waste. This season, Sloan continues to redefine what smart restroom design looks like. Learn more at sloan.com and go Cubs go! Cubs fans, it's Pat Hughes. To ensure that your business goals get across home plate, consider relocating to the Village of Bedford Park. Learn more at villageofbedfordpark.com.
A reminder that all reviews in this game are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. Alongside Ron Cooper, Zach Zaidman in for Pat tonight. White Sox leading the Cubs 8-1 as we begin the bottom of the seventh inning. Sam Antonacci at the plate. Ethan Roberts on the mound. Roberts sets up high, working on the first base side of the rubber. The pitch is low and inside for a ball, 1-0. White Sox have been flexing their muscles all night long. Taka Murakami with a pair of home runs. Miguel Vargas, a 3-run job. Colson Montgomery and Andrew Benintendi also going deep. Now the 1-0. It's in there for a strike. Breaking ball that floated into the zone. 1-1 on Antonacci.
Well, that's what we were told coming into this series. And, you pay attention around the league to what teams are doing. And White Sox have been banging the baseball out of the ballpark, and they have done that tonight.
The pitch outside, 2-1. White Sox had won 5 in a row prior to the opener of this series last night. And during that stretch, they've been averaging nearly 5.5 runs per game.
How many home runs they hit yesterday? 2, right?
Yeah.
I believe yesterday, 2.
Mm-hmm. Nope, more than that. The pitch, foul back. You had Montgomery who went deep. You had Vargas who went deep. And then in the ninth inning, Jared Kelnick hit that shot.
3, yep.
So 2-2 on Antonacci, 23 years old, 5th-round pick in 2024, native of Springfield. Played his college ball at Coastal Carolina. Roberts steals. Antonacci swings and misses. Strike 3. Roberts gets him with a sweeper. 1 away.
Good pitch by Roberts. That breaking ball down and in to get the punch out.
Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. Brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. 1 down, and here is Munetaka Murakami, who's having a huge game. 2 home runs. He's reached base 3 times. The pitch. Misses. Sweeper.
Murakami, he does a good job. I'll be interested to see how the league adjusts to him, because he does a very good job of hitting with power with the ball out away from him.
The next pitch, a big swing and a miss at another breaking ball, 1-1.
And, what the adjustment will be, as he loops the league one time, if they start throwing in against him or if it's all soft or what they're going to do to him. But he definitely covers the ball away really well.
He's got 17 home runs now. The pitch, awkward swing and miss. And a 3rd straight sweeper from Roberts. So the count is 1-2. Murakami just 26 years old. He was a 4-time All-Star playing for the Tokyo Yakult Swallows in Japan. 2-time Central League MVP, 2-time Central League home run champ. Back in 2022, hit 56 bombs. 56. The 1-2 is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A lot of home runs.
He homered in his first 3 games with the White Sox and really hasn't stopped since.
Yeah, he's been on a roll.
Signed a 2-year deal with the Sox.
I'd start renegotiating right now.
The pitch. That's low and inside, full count.
His agent called Jerry. I think they're liking this guy at first base.
I'm sure Mr. Reinsdorf's very happy that you're suggesting moves for his ball club. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. As Roberts gets Murakami with a cutter. 2 away.
Well, after a bunch of pitches down, then you go gas up the top of the zone, and that one right by him. Good sequence of pitches by Roberts.
I forgot to tell you, the first out sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. 2 down, bottom 7, 8-1 White Sox. Miguel Vargas stands in, right-handed batter. Roberts delivers. Big swing and a miss by Vargas, 0-1. Vargas got the scoring started tonight with a 3-run shot in the first off Jamison Tyone. White Sox have been blasting bombs ever since. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was a big blow right away early in the ball game. Get a base hit, a walk, and then the 3-run homer, and the White Sox were off and running.
0-2 on Vargas with 2 down here in the last of the 7th. Roberts to Vargas. Low and outside. Breaking ball that missed. I saw something today that caught my eye. Cubs entered play tonight 18-4 when scoring first. It's the 3rd best record in baseball in that department. But the Cubs have only scored 16 first-inning runs this season, 5th fewest in baseball. The 1-2. Low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes with Vargas at the plate. I don't quite know what that means because the Cubs have done a nice job of rallying in games.
Yeah, they've done a very good job towards the second half of the ball game, scoring runs, especially on the streak they were on. Did a great job against Cincinnati in that 4-game series of coming back night after night.
Vargas fouls it back off the screen. Count remains 2-2. 3 straight walk-offs, all in different ways. And the Cubs will be back home at Wrigley Field Monday against the Brewers as they play Milwaukee for the first time this season. Now the 2-2. Vargas fouls it out of play. Off to the right, behind the plate.
I think we're all kind of looking forward to matching up with both clubs, Milwaukee and St. Louis. St. Louis is off to a much better start than what everybody thought they would do. You know, that goes to show you never know what's going to happen in baseball. But we have not played Milwaukee or St. Louis yet this year.
Here comes the 2-2 by Roberts. Vargas pops it up. Right side foul territory. Michael Busch behind the bag now on the side track. Makes the catch for out number 3 as the White Sox go down in order in the 7th. We head to the 8th. 8-1 Sox on the score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, this is Carson Kelly. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Organ failure takes more than strength to overcome. It takes expertise. Loyola Medicine's transplant program is among the most experienced in Illinois, with innovative approaches like gene expression profiling and robotic-assisted surgery. When the odds are long, we bring precision, compassion, and hope. At Loyola Medicine, tough is what we do and who we are. Visit loyolamedicine.org/tough.
Joel Got Wines is a true all-American classic and the go-to wine for America's favorite pastime. Since 1996, Joel has selected the best vineyards in California to craft balanced, approachable, and food-friendly wines. Whether it's a classic Chicago dog or Italian beef sandwich, Joel Got is the perfect pairing for any ballpark staple. Whether you're watching at Wrigley Field or at home, look for Joel Got Wines in the wine aisle at your local retailer. Joel Got Wines, official wine partner of the Chicago Cubs.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey fans, why does flying Southwest Airlines from Chicago just make sense? Reliable, flexible, enjoyable. We're full of ibbles and obbles and proud of it.
It's been one of those days for the Cubs. 8-1 White Sox here in the top of the 8th inning. This 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids, 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today, Zeke.
Thank you very much, Coom. Alex Bregman digs in against the new right-hander on the mound for the White Sox, Trevor Richards. High leg kick and pitch. Bregman looks at the ball up high, 1-0. Bregman's got 2 hits tonight, a single and a double. Now hitting at .257 on the year. The pitch. There's a called strike fastball from Richards. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents, sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs, leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. The next pitch is pop foul, out of play, off to the right. Learn more at sloan.com. 1-2 the count on Bregman. Richards works on the third base side of the rubber. Here's the pitch. It's low, check swing on appeal. Chris Siegel says that Bregman did not offer. Count is 2-2. Time to see how we did with our guesses in the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. The 2-2 up high. Bregman has worked the full count. The attendance tonight here on the south side, 38,795. Turns out I was a little bit closer than the rest of you this evening.
Suspiciously close.
The payoff pitch. Called strike three. Bregman knew it. A fastball before the call was even made by Eric Backus. Bregman started walking back to the Cubs dugout along the first base line. It was a fastball right down the middle.
Yeah, Bregman got caught looking for some spin, and then Richards buzzed the heater in there for strike three.
The in-app at the plate. And Richards misses up high, 1-0. Suspicious, he said.
Sounding a little guilty, Rich, today.
I think it's magnificent. Here's the pitch up high. 2-0. Wins a win. Happ waits for the 2-0 delivery. Here it comes. And that's low, ball 3. Happ's had a rough night at the plate. 0 for 3. 3 strikeouts. Maybe it changes here. A 3-0 delivery. Richards to Happ. Called strike fastball. 3-1. Right at the top of the zone, about belt high. The next pitch is pulled on the ground, foul off to the right. Full count. Happ is the Cubs cleanup man, and cleanup hitters for the Cubs are sponsored by Chicagoland's appliance leader, Grand Appliance. Get your all-star KitchenAid kitchen today at grandappliance.com. Now the 3-2. Happ pops it up. On the infield, foul territory off to the left. The catcher, Romo, being called off now in front of the Sox dugout by Vargas, the third baseman. And he makes the catch, 2 away.
Good play by Vargas. He was playing way over by the shortstop area. And if the catcher has to make this play, Romo, he's got to go a long way to try to catch this ball. Vargas does a good job of getting over there and making the play.
Seiya Suzuki now stands in, 2 down, top of the 8th. White Sox up 8-1. Seiya's 0 for 3 tonight. The pitch. Inside, ball 1. A reminder to stay tuned for the toast of the game, presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Coming up with the Coon Dog in the 9th inning. Seiya cracks one in the air. It's playable, shallow left center, and it's caught by a running Antonacci for out number 3. Cubs go down in order in the top of the 8th. Middle 8, 8-1 White Sox on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans. It's Pete Crow Armstrong. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Don't miss the toast of the game presented by Binny's Beverage Depot when we celebrate the game's greatest moments and players. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. It includes a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, plus 24/7 roadside assistance. That's peace of mind from Hyundai. And these days, that's priceless.
Right now, for a limited time, you can lease the Hyundai Elantra for $189 a month or choose to get $2,000 total savings. Offers end June 1st. Call 224-661-0068 for details.
Leaks, clogs, or burst pipes. Chicagoland depends on Plumbers 911, providing professional, licensed local 130 plumbers who get the job done right the first time. For 24/7 emergency plumbing service, call 833-PLUM-911.
Hey, I'm ordering dinner. I was thinking burgers.
Boom! I just earned a $600 bonus for opening up a checking account at Old National Bank. Sorry, what'd you say? Burgers?
No, I definitely said 40-ounce dry-aged tomahawk steaks. Yep, with those little sauteed mushrooms.
Earn up to a $600 bonus when you open an eligible checking account and complete qualifying activities. Visit oldnational.com/checking and get old. Member FDIC. Additional restrictions apply. Offer valid through June 30th, 2026.
Save time every time for a great haircut. Just download the Great Clips app or check in online at greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
MLB is partnering with Crisis Text Line to increase mental health awareness. Free 24/7 confidential support in English and Spanish. Text MLB to 741-741. Last of the eighth, White Sox 8, Cubs 1. Ryan Rollison now pitching for the Cubs. Left-hander facing left-handed hitting Colson Montgomery. A pitch. Low and outside, 1-0. Montgomery has hit one of 5 home runs on the night for the White Sox. Munetaka Murakami, 2 of them. Miguel Vargas has another one of them. And Andrew Benintendi has also gone deep. As that pitch misses low, a fastball from Rollison to Montgomery, 2-0. Time to check the out-of-town scoreboard, sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app. Save 23 cents per gallon on your first filler. Here comes the 2-0. Montgomery, a check swing at a pitch low and inside. And no appeal. Backus.
Yeah, Backus just called it. Montgomery doesn't like it.
Says that's a strike. You went around.
Looking down at Las Diaz like, can I appeal?
That would make you mad. I get it. Here comes the 2-1. Tapper on the right side. Charging. Shaw fielding. Throw to first is in time to get Montgomery. 1 away. The first out is sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. So on the board, top of the 9th inning in Houston, the Astros leading the Rangers 4-1. Other action, bottom 9 in Minnesota. It's the Brewers 2 and the Twins 1. Jackson Chourio with his first home run of the season for Milwaukee. Chase Mydroth at the plate with 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rollison delivers. Mydroth looks at a fastball for a strike. 0-1. The Padres all over the Mariners. 7-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Top 7 in Queens. Mets leading the Yankees 5-3. The pitch. Low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 3-way series about to get underway in Southern California. They're playing this in Anaheim, Dodgers and Angels. The 1-1. Mydroth bounces it up the middle, ranging to his left corner, fields behind the bag, sidearm throw to first, almost took Bush off the bag. He was able to make the catch and keep his foot on the base. 2 away.
Good play by Nico going up the middle. And the hard part of this play, he gets to this ball in good shape, but it's the throw. You've got to throw this ball and kind of play the slice a little bit. He gets it to Bushy. Bushy does a great job of keeping his foot on the bag and making the catch.
So 2 down. Andrew Benintendi will dig in. Blue Jays knock off the Tigers 2-1 in 10 innings. The Cardinals double up the Royals 4-2. Alec Burleson with a pair of RBIs for St. Louis. Randall Grichuk pinch hitting for Andrew Benintendi. And the pitch. It's a called strike. Fastball from Rollison, clocked at 96 miles per hour. Rockies double up the Diamondbacks 4-2. Nicky Moniak drove in 2 runs. The Nationals a 13-3 drubbing of the Orioles. The pitch. Fouled back out of play. Keibert Ruiz drove in 5 runs in the Nationals' victory. The Phillies shut out the Pirates 6-0. Christopher Sanchez with 13 strikeouts. A complete game victory. He's now 5-2 with a 1.82 ERA. We saw him earlier this season. He's really good. Here comes the 0-2. And that one sails over the head of the catcher Amaya and hits the backstop on a fly. Well, we always say, where's the bull?
Yeah, that one would have nailed him.
1-2. Major leaguers are human. Rollison faces home plate. Glove in front of the face. He whirls and deals. Grichuk looks at the ball low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Marlins, 10-5 victory over the Rays. Guardians beat the Reds 7-4. Angel Martinez, the go-ahead 2-run home run. Wilson Contreras hitting his 9th home run of the year to lead the Red Sox past the Braves 3-2. As Grichuk swings and misses, strike 3. Rollison gets him with a curveball as the White Sox go down in order in the 8th. We head to the 9th. It's the White Sox 8 and the Cubs 1 on the score. The Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Great Cubs guests all season long. Rahimi Harris and Grody, middays 10-2 on 104.3 The Score.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
When you're betting and find yourself constantly thinking about gambling and you're losing more money than you have, are you really winning? If you're spending too much time with the slots or you can't stop betting on sports and you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, maybe lying, and probably losing more money than you can afford to lose, you're not alone and you can get help. It's available 24/7 and it's confidential. When your betting has gotten out of hand, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.areyoureallywinning.com. Sponsored by the Illinois Department of Human Services.
Your heart. You'd never think of purposely stopping it. I'm Tara, and when my team at Northwestern Memorial Hospital found a malformation in my brain, my cardiologist and neurosurgeon said the only way to save me was to stop my heart, which they did 12 times.
Nationally ranked for neurology and neurosurgery by U.S. News and World Report, Tara's team collaborated to temporarily stop blood flow, allowing a catheter to reach her brain and permanently obliterate the malformation. Northwestern Medicine. Better.
Chicago weather is tough. Your home siding should be tougher. Hardy Siding is engineered for our climate. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Michael Conforto leads off the top of the 9th. All White Sox tonight up 8-1. Trevor Richards on the mound, and the pitch is up high for ball 1. The 9th inning is sponsored by Circa Resort and Casino. Get ready for the time of your life. CircaLasVegas.com. Richards deals. Conforto lines one. Base hit down the right field line. This will roll all the way to the corner. Conforto on his way to second base. Gets there standing up with a double.
Get at bat for Conforto. He's had a couple good ones. Just missed a home run on his very first at bat. Hit a ball a mile in the air, and it came down right in front of the right field wall. So some good swings still for Conforto. He is still swinging the bat very, very well.
So here's Matt Shaw. Right-handed batter against the right-hander, Richards. 8-1 White Sox. Conforto at second. No one out in the 9th. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Fueled by a changeup. 0-1. Stay tuned for the Old National Bank Cubs Radio postgame show, the official bank of the Cubs Radio Network, with Dustin Rhodes tonight. We thank Dustin for his fine work this evening. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Another change. 0-2 on Shaw. Had some heavy-duty lifting during the delay when Brian O'Nora went down after taking that foul ball off the mask.
Yeah, we hope Brian is okay. He got hit with a foul tip right in the jaw of the mask and had to leave the game. Hopefully Brian is all right.
0-2 misses up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Shaw.
Brian O'Nora's been a long-time big league umpire. Brian and have known each other a long, long time. Great guy.
Richards deals. Shaw swings and fouls it back off the netting. 1-2. White Sox with 5 home runs tonight. It's a rough go for Jamison Tyone. In 5 innings, 8 runs on 8 hits, 5 of them home runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Davis Martin did a stellar job for the White Sox. So Shaw fouls this one out of play off to the right. Martin went 6 innings, allowing just 1 run on 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, no walks.
Today's a tough day to pitch. If you're a fly ball pitcher, which J-Mo is, and he didn't have great command tonight,
fouls this one back.
It's a bad combination here in this ballpark. There were a few balls hit that, a lot of ballparks might not have been home runs, and then there are a few that were really hit well. But, you're going to have a bump in the road here and there. J-Mo has pitched very well for the Cubs so far this season.
The 1-2 up high to Shaw. You hear the crowd in the background agreeing that the Packers are probably not a really good team in football. And the 2-2. Swing and a foul tip into the glove. Strike 3. Shaw's retired, 1 away. The finale of the Southside edition of the Crosstown Series takes place tomorrow afternoon. A couple of veteran right-handers will be on the mound. Colin Ray for the Cubs, Eric Fetty for the Sox. Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate, and he looks at a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Rays 4-2 this season, a 4+ ERA. Fetty 0-4, an ERA of nearly 4. Here's the 0-1. High fly ball hit to deep right. Going back, looking up. Kelnick, this one's way out of here. Pete Crow Armstrong with a 2-run home run. Number 5 on the year for PCA. And it's now 8-3.
Boy, Pete, it's one thing about playing in these games. You do not give up at bats, even though this game has been a little one-sided, but you know what? You still got big league at bats. Pete with a 2-run homer here in the 9th. It's a fastball inside. He hammered that ball.
380 feet to straight right. Exit velocity 100 miles per hour. 8-3 the score. White Sox with the lead. Miguel Amaya stands in. The pitch. Amaya drills one deep down the left field line, but hooking way foul out of play. It did not have home run distance. 0-1.
Stolen bases by the Cubs tonight. They're always powered by a Turo tire. Chicago's hometown tire. Get called safe with a Turo tire. Find yours at Turo.com.
Amaya fouls this one out of play off to the right. 0-2.
I think we got to do a toast to the game ball.
Yeah, we do. The toast of the game is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. And the toast of the game goes to
the guy at home plate, Miguel Amaya.
Amaya looks at a ball low, 1-2.
Up until the last swing of the bat, he was the only run scored for the Cubs with the home run that he hit earlier. But he has 2 hits today.
Amaya fouls this one back off the screen.
So he will be our toast of the game ball player today.
And Coom, the toast of the game. From Binny's Beverage Depot. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. 1-2 strikes the count. Richards delivers, and Amaya, it's a pop fly, shallow right center. Coming in, Kelnick makes the catch. 2 away.
Today's been one of those ball games for the Cubs. They had a couple chances to get on track, in the middle of the game, and then just couldn't get the one big hit to kind of get them back in the game. And this White Sox ball club has showed why they're playing at 500 and have made a big comeback, from where they have